It's the best thing you can do in that game. Here's my advice after playing for a little while. Just mute all chat. Nothing useful happens there. Your teammates can ping for you. That's all that matters. I
That
still don't
is
though. 'Cause sometimes
fair.
it is fun to engage in the banter. Like, like this one guy was acting like all tough, like he had just totally slaughtered all of us, and he was like the bottom of the whole match. And it was kind of fun to be like, I don't know. If you ask me, it kind of looks like you got carried by so and so. And then the other teammates all started ganging up on him too, and it was pretty funny. You gotta lead into it a
You
little bit.
stir the pot, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. You just get, like, if they're gonna throw it at you, right? And then his own teammates started being like, "Yeah, dude, you didn't do anything." Kind of thing.
I usually try to be like super nice back to them, and just hope that like the over sweetness will just make them sick and they die.
That reminds me of my buddy Caden. So he's not a sweat, but every once in a while, like somebody won't be doing what they're supposed to, and he'll get upset. And so one time he was like, "Oh, hey, you should build into this." And the buddy we were playing, he's like, "Man, why you got to be so toxic?" And he's like, "All right, I got this." And he does it. He's, "Hey, could you please consider building into this?" And he puts a big smiley face. See, not toxic, just helping the team. It's a macro play.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, looks like we're live here.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right.
I had today off, so I've been full out.
So did I.
Chillaxing.
It makes me
I
more
did
tired.
I was gonna say I actually slept most of the day. That if I'm gonna be 100% honest, but I did say play some Breath of the Wild, and that
Ooh.
is a fun game. Fun game for when you like. I always like to have like the podcast games, like games I can kind of keep myself engaged and busy, but I really just want to listen to something, So Tetris used to be my go-to, but Breath of the Wild is up there. It's nice.
I have been playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and I got to a boss
Yes.
fight that almost made me rage. I was right on the edge. I had to quit it. I was like 10 times into this.
Oh
And
no.
if you get to the end, I got like a couple hits from the end, and I died, and it takes you all the way back to the beginning. And it's like Dark Souls, it like crushes your soul. And so finally today I conquered it. Thank goodness, because I was really getting upset. But
oh, hey, I was gonna try something today. I noticed that my clickety clacks come up quite a bit. I'm gonna test that crisp noise suppression that was got, and seeing how
That's
that
a
goes.
good idea. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Typey types, or is it just my voice that you hear?
your voice got more muffled.
Yeah, considerably. How's mine?
Yours didn't change, I don't think.
Is mine muffled now?
No.
Not
Okay.
really.
So it only is muffled when I'm suppressing background noise. Otherwise, it's completely normal.
Okay, cool. Is everybody good to go? I have the recap queued up. Jason, that's a nod from Jason. All right, cool.
I don't know why, but for some reason I'm kind of like nervous for this session.
Oh, wait. Maybe because, I don't know, we almost all died.
Yeah, that's probably part of it.
1 second, I gotta send something.
I mean, did we?
Well, also because like I feel a little directionless again. Any session that I come into and I sit down and it's like I don't know where I'm going, I get nervous.
I named the session wrong on the live stream. I forgot to rename it.
Do you want to fix it real quick? We vibing.
Yeah, if I can. I don't know if it'll let you do that after you've gone live.
Can you like go off and delete it and then just start streaming again?
I could do that.
You can also always edit to the
I just didn't
afterwards.
want it to have an issue because of it being named the same as the last session.
Oh, that could be problematic.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll wait.
We good.
Well, you play video
Let's
games,
see.
Justin?
Oh, nope, it'll
I've
let me
been known
change
to
it.
once or twice.
What
I dabble.
what you been playing this week?
Oh, not a thing. Oh, we played Among Us for the first time.
Oh,
You and I
Oh,
played
isn't it
Spellbreak
fun?
too.
Wait, hey, we'll have to do some
Yeah.
Among Us at some point,
Yeah,
man.
we really
That was-
enjoyed it. It was me, Andrew, Brandon, and Sarah, and then a bunch of
Is-
random people.
You get Sarah in there? Oh, dude, that sounds like a blast. I'm on a Discord server, so I play with some people semi-regularly, but like we'll have to hit it up at some point. That's a fun game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jay Sarah, it's free on mobile or $5 on PC if you want to get in on that crazy social deduction action.
It is fun.
It's basically
is.
Mafia.
Very fun. I trusted Andrew a number of times last
You
night,
really
and it
shouldn't.
bit me every single time that I trusted him. I was like, this is how French
Not every time, almost every time.
4 out of 5 times. There
That-
was one
That's
time
not
that you
every
could not be
time,
impossible.
okay? You can't use words like
80%.
every. There you go. There you go.
The
That's
game
all I
is
ask.
good with
All I
text
ask.
chat, but it's a lot of fun when you know who the other players are and you're not playing randos and you got voice chat and you come on and someone's like, okay, I found a body right over there, and it's just like it's a lot of fun actually.
It is.
All
Yeah.
right, I've got it queued up, and I think I'm ready if you all are.
Let me get Rhythm Bot up to 80 and hopefully I don't kill myself.
I think we're all going to have to worry about that tonight.
I got that hero point though. I know what I'm gonna use mine on.
Fortitude save.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
Okay.
Rhythm just pieced out.
It's probably because
Rhythm
I've had
needed
it
it.
stop.
Oh, in the future, by the way, Andrew, you might want to play with this between sessions. And I don't know who's admin on this server, but we should add GrooveBot. I think it's considerably better. That's what me and my other roommates use. It's very
Okay.
good.
We ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh,
Oh, I think you have to queue him up again.
well, yep. Give me half a second. To anybody watching the stream, we're professionals.
We're professional.
Could you imagine if we had somebody watching this stream?
Sammy might be. I sent him the live stream link.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right.
Sammy, if you're out there, this is a hello.
Sammy, this is for you. We're about to start the recap. Here we go. 3, 2.
All right. We've been walking all day. How long will we need to hike tomorrow to get to the next inn? Oh boy.
Only for a few hours, my friend. We're almost there. In the meantime, we can cozy up in that old hunter's cabin ahead. Don't worry, it won't be occupied. We can get plenty of rest before tomorrow.
I don't know, Ulrich. That place looks unsettling.
Nonsense! It's just very old and in a dark corner of the woods. Besides, where's your sense of adventure?
Somewhere far from here, that's for sure.
Oh, look, the door is already partly open for us. Let's make ourselves at home.
This place gives me the creeps.
I think I know what you mean. And that is what makes it the perfect place to tell creepy stories. You better settle in, Joseph.
Oh no. Now where's my teddy bear?
This cabin might be a bit spooky, but it pales in comparison to the horrors witnessed by the heroes of Phaendar. The party surveyed the ruins of Gristledown in shock and horror at the atrocities that took place there. Suddenly, Oren was ambushed by a group of undead and grappled by a hideous shredskin.
So as you step into the field, you see the pile, it begins to shift. Bodies begin to crawl out of the mud. And as they appear from behind you, you do not notice this. From behind you, one of the flayed skins flies off of the side of the wall.
What?
Towards you.
Oh my god. Oh my, what?
A desperate battle ensued. The dwarven cleric channeled a powerful energy attack to vaporize two of the ghouls. Volus's vicious bite tore through another. However, the undead fiends managed to knock Orin and Tharus unconscious. In a heroic effort, Nyari made her way to Orin's side and revived him with a potion as Aiden defended. The ranger swung his longsword for a deep cut into the shredskin. And finally, the creature was obliterated by Orin's wrath.
Okay, so I get up, I've taken the damage, and I'm basically like, "Wear me, will you?" And then I slam down on it with the warhammer, since he was still lower than me on the ground, and just completely it dissipates everywhere. There's a piece of skin and viscera everywhere.
Next, the party gathered the remaining bodies of the former Gristledown residents, ensuring they would be laid to rest for good, and with honor.
Once the mound has been piled up with all the bodies, he's, without saying anything to anyone else, he doesn't really care. He's going to pull out, he's got some oil on him. He's going to douse as much as he can all throughout here and place the wooden symbol of Rastal back. And he'll say, "Maybe Erastil will watch you in your next life." And he will strike a torch and drop it into the pit.
There is something that I have wanted to do since we saw Phaendar again. I don't know much about Elwood, but looking back, it is because of him that all of us are alive right now. And I wish to honor him in some small way. Where I come from, we typically worship Gorham, who resides in Elysium, but I will alter this to fit him. She pauses for a moment and then begins to say, "There do I see my father. There do I see my mother and brothers and my sisters. There do I see the line of my people back to the beginning. They do call to me. They bid me to take my place among them in the halls of heaven, where our enemies have been vanquished, where the brave shall live forever. Nor shall we mourn but rejoice for those who have died the glorious death." And she'll take the bowl and the blood that has dripped into the bowl, and she will toss it into the fire and just close her eyes.
That, I think, conjures a memory of Aiden that you can tell is his mother. But there will come a time when you will have to rely on your own strength. But I want you to know this. No matter what happens, I love you. You must take care of your sister forever. And to him, this is like a great commission.
Companions, we must get back to camp. The Ironfang Legion is here in the forest. They could be upon our camp any moment. We need to move them.
Tharus is right. We must make haste. The time to mourn has passed. The time to trudge forward has come.
Our heroes left Gristledown and headed back to their camp. Along the way, they encountered an injured wolf pup. As Nyari, Theros, and Aiden discussed what should be done, Orin saw an odd creature appear and run off. He scooped up the wolf pup and ran after it. The party soon found themselves outside of a nearby wolf den. The mother was being threatened by the same odd creature that Orin chased after. These mites were beating another nearby pup with a stick. Enraged, our heroes attacked, making quick work of the pathetic mites. Amongst the mites' loot they discover a map with several listed locations, including a treasure cabin. Theros calmed the mother wolf down and healed the pups, and the group departed, proud of their good deed. Upon their return, the companions encountered Zeph, who was on lookout duty. Nyari gave him the signal whistle they found. Next, the four split ways to attend to their own matters.
Oh, Theros, it's good to see you back. What do you need?
We need to get these people ready to move as soon as possible. Probably would be best to wait till the morning. No need to stir a panic this late at night, but we need to move right away.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think we're mostly ready. We can be ready to go pretty quick. I mean, Jet and I had some things we wanted to talk to you guys about, but I mean, we can wait for the morning for those as well. While everybody else is packing up, I can talk to you about those.
That would be the best decision, I believe. Gristledown was. There aren't really words to describe it.
She kind of nods and she says, I think I know what you're trying to say. I think I was expecting that already.
She'll take some time, as quietly as she can, kind of taking off her armor, and she'll sit on the ground next to where Ilika is sleeping, and Ilika, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. I miss Severin. It should have been him here, not me. I feel like I'm losing myself. I feel like I'm a ship on the ocean, under a dark sky without stars. And I need you to show me that there's still light, Ilika. I need you to come back to me. I know how much you cared about him. I know you loved him. And if I could go back, I would be the one to stay, not him. I know I've never really told you, but I'm sorry that it was me and not him here with you.
As you're finishing speaking and you lay down, you can feel Ilika, actually, her hand kind of grabs yours, and you kind of look over and she's still asleep. She's not conscious or anything, but it's like unconsciously her hand kind of grabs yours and you hear her just say, "Stars."
And at that, Nyari just starts crying, like the silent tears that just stream down her face.
And I imagine after literally moving skin, just skin, that he is soaked with blood at the hands. He's probably got it on his face, and he's absolutely just covered and filthy. And he kind of takes a moment to himself and maybe tries to find something reflective and just kind of dampens a cloth and does his best to wipe and get away as much as he can, but it's caked in the wrinkles and underneath his fingernails, and when that's done, he'll finally douse the fire with whatever's left.
While Aiden was doing that, Theros kind of just sat down next to him. How do you do it?
What? How do I do what?
You've told me before about the horrible things that happened to your family. You've been through so much torture. You've seen things that most people wouldn't be able to live through. How can you go on another day, having seen so much? I'm so sick of being too late to help. I can handle hurt for myself, but when others are being treated this, what could motivate these creatures to do such hideous, monstrous things? How do you do it? You and the others are so strong.
I am not that strong, Theros. But I want to be. I want to be
people's shoulder to lean on. I wonder sometimes if Nermathis could truly be free, if I could truly live free. It gets hard, Theros. It's not easy. So as much as I want to, every day, every single day, I think, what if I just ran away? But I won't. I won't run again. I won't run again.
The next morning, our party awakens to a gruesome discovery.
Aiden, Orin, and Theros, you notice something's off. Someone's missing. You look around and Zeph is gone.
I just got chills. Oh no.
I offered to
Look out.
watch the night for him and then trade it off.
Like, you look at the log that he was sitting in, it's not there. You do see a water skin just laying next to it. It's as if he just vanished. You see some tracks, just some drag marks in the ground leading out of the camp. And you follow those for a while, maybe a couple hundred yards into the forest. And eventually you spot a pile of leaves. And you eventually uncover a human body without a head. It looks like the head was severed after death with a short blade, a short jagged blade with vigorous hacking. Whatever happened to him happened fast.
We have to go right now. We have to go right now.
Our heroes directed the survivors to pack up and move immediately as they traversed deeper into the Fangwood. The four scouted ahead further to investigate the treasure cabin they discovered on the Might's map. As they approached the cabin, Aiden sprung a bear trap. It cut into his leg, latching him in place as a crazed lynx attacked out of nowhere. The party managed to disable the beast, and as they continued exploring the property, they encountered a Wight inside the cabin. This powerful enemy bellowed at them to leave his home and attacked them, draining energy from Orin, Theros, and Aiden. The party was forced to retreat for fear of death by a single blow.
He can kill us very quickly. We strike fast or we leave.
That won't hold him for long. He's still able to move. We need to get out of here right now. That includes you, Aiden. Now.
Yes, go!
The Wight stood in the doorway of the cabin, his menacing eyes glaring at his prey as they escaped into the shelter of the woods.
Okay, Michael Bay, calm it down with the music. Why don't you throw a wow in the middle of it or something? Otherwise, fantastically done.
Listen, I can't just pick any music anywhere. I have a limited library of music that I have license for that I can use. Otherwise, there'd be some Two Steps from Hell in there. There'd be some Hans Zimmer. I don't know.
Okay, so I think first off, I wanted to very quickly go through everybody since we did level up after last session. I wanted just real quickly to have everybody, explain the cool stuff they got at level 3, whatever they're willing to explain. You can keep some things to yourself if you want to have them show them off in the middle of a session, but did anybody get anything cool at level 3?
Some really expensive but useful spells, which is cool. They're very useful. Cure moderate wounds. I will have that moving forward, which is good.
Clutch.
Consecrate once I get the materials put together for it, which is really good if we run into this undead. And shield other, which I really wish we had platinum rings. So keep your eyes open for platinum rings if you just see them laying around somewhere.
Absolutely.
Will do.
By the way, Josh, are you still muted? Are you muted? Did we lose Josh?
Cannot hear you, Josh.
Oh,
Oh, wait. Is he back? Don't hear you.
Nope.
No.
Josh should have played the barbarian. Then he could have actually raged every session when his microphone doesn't work.
oh, and
Wow.
I think 2 of you guys knew that. I took Divine Paragon as a archetype, which doesn't really have an effect right now.
I see you
But it had
trying,
some
Doc.
really cool stuff at level 5.
So
Oh,
I
that's
was
cool.
wondering, material components or something?
Oh, you're breaking up a lot, Josh.
Yeah, all I heard was material components.
Why do you need a platinum ring?
Oh, for spells. So for shield other, you gotta have a platinum ring for me to wear, and then whoever I'm using it on also has to wear it.
Is that true for clerics with divine focuses? I thought that wasn't the case. I thought they could bypass that kind of stuff.
The spell itself doesn't require a divine focus. It's just a focus that has a pair of platinum rings worth 50 GP worn by you and the target.
Huh.
So
Interesting. I don't know.
that's my understanding of the spell, at least.
Oh,
One of
we'll
those
look
things
into
you
that
can't get
later.
away with a spell component pouch. For me, got that sweet base attack bonus, which it's nice playing a full base attack bonus progression character. I got a bonus to reflex and will. And then really the only other thing is Blood Ragers get something called Blood Sanctuary, which probably is never going to come up. But basically, I get a +2 bonus on saving throws against spells that I or my ally cast. So if any of you cast like an AoE spell, so I guess the Fire Belly of Orin, if you cast Fire Belly and I'm in the area, I would get a bonus to my reflex save to pass that spell.
Cool.
So
Nice.
Very nice.
probably forget it and it will probably never come up, but it's a level 3 thing, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Sweetness.
Yep.
Now watch me go through all this, and then we're gonna fail our fortitude save.
Oh,
Don't say that.
yeah, please.
No, don't say that. And then I did get another feat, but it builds off of my feat from level 1 that I haven't been able to use yet, so it'll come up when it comes up.
Cool.
Cool.
I'll go ahead next. At Ranger, at 3rd level, I go ahead and pick up my Favored Terrain, which is not huge except for the fact that we are always in forest at the moment, so that's a big boon. Adding a +2 bonus on initiative checks, knowledge, geography, perception, stealth, and survival. Additionally, I have the ability to basically leave no trail, and I cannot be tracked if I travel through the forest. So I can choose to leave behind or not leave behind my presence, which is kind of cool. I also pick up a feat, which hopefully it's a very situational feat, so I'm not sure I'm going to get to use it, but I'm going to try. It's a big plus at low levels. It kind of falls off later levels, but I think with the way things are going, I might get 1 or 2 chances to use it, so I'm going to keep that a surprise. And that's pretty much it for my level 3 kit.
Sweet.
Basically, I'm just a combination of Justin and Josh, or Orin and Aiden. I have some helpful spells, some that can give some buffs, some that can attack, and like Josh, I also can choose to leave behind or not leave behind a trail. And Volus just got a couple stats. Well, not stats, but skill rank. No, not skills. I don't know what. Volus is just a little better.
He got an AC boost.
Yeah, that's what it
and
was.
He got another trick, I
Yep.
think. And he
Yep.
got evasion, so see if that ever comes up.
Cool. Yeah, I think I looked over everybody's sheet. Everybody looked right. The only thing that I wasn't sure about is Theros has like a floating modifier to handle animal and spellcraft, and I wasn't sure where those were coming from.
Floating modifier?
Yeah, like in the miscellaneous column, he's got a +1 to spellcraft and a +3. I get that handle animal would have a +2, but it
Oh,
has
I
a
think
+3 in there.
Those
so
were the favored class bonus skill points I picked for the past two.
okay.
Times.
Yeah. Just so you know, that's not exactly how that works. The favored class bonus gives you
I just
a
did
rank.
what Justin told me.
I didn't tell you to do that.
You did. I asked about what to do with the favored class skill point. I was
Yeah,
like,
you get either a skill rank or an HP point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
what
get
I told
another
you.
you get another rank. It's not a flat modifier. It's like another skill rank.
Rank.
So you know at the bottom you have like 12 out of 12 ranks. You'd
Yeah.
you'd instead have 14 ranks rather than modifiers.
Okay.
So the reason that's a difference
how's
is
that different?
because
Yeah.
you cannot have more ranks than your level. So if you are level like 3, you can't have more than 3 ranks. For you, you can just swap those modifiers over to ranks because you didn't have any maxed out ranks. But like for instance, if you had 3 ranks in like spellcraft already, then adding one into the miscellaneous column would be more than you could technically have.
I see what happened, bud. I told you to put it in miscellaneous, but I meant under configuration, skill ranks, miscellaneous is where I meant for you to put that, not miscellaneous under the skills
Gotcha.
page. My bad. Yeah.
Never
under
trusted
configuration.
dwarf.
Yeah, configuration miscellaneous, not skills.
Well, we've both betrayed each other in the past 2 days,
Yep.
Justin, so we'll call it even.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
like, I told you, right? 1 skill rank or 1 HP point.
Just
Yeah,
what I
it'll net
did.
out to be the same in your case, I think. But yeah, I was just not sure about those modifiers. But with that out of the way, okay, so there's a number of things that we're gonna have to do here. First off,
Oh, jeez.
all of you, as you're fleeing the hunter's cabin there, you had moved the camp onto that same tile. There's a mile radius in each of these hexes, so there's plenty of space for you to leave the cabin and then regroup with the rest of the refugees there for the night. I want, as you guys are heading back through the forest to make it back to camp, I want Theros and Aiden to roll survival checks.
Can you hear me now?
What was that?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'd asked twice and didn't hear anything, and I started getting scared again.
Survival checks? Why?
Yikes.
Okay.
Half my ranger level to track.
This has nothing to do with tracks. So, Theros, you're able to catch on to this a little bit. And it makes sense being a druid and spending most of your time out here. As you guys are returning back to the camp, you're noticing a very subtle shift in the wind. You're looking around, you're noticing that the animals are abnormally quiet. Seems like they have either left or burrowed into their dens or something. It's very quiet, and the wind is moving just very subtly wrong, and you get the idea that you think there's going to be a storm tomorrow. You're not 100% sure when, but you think tomorrow evening there's going to be a storm. You're picking up on all these minor details, maybe reading the behavior of the animals here, and you think, this is how they act when a storm's coming. So that's just something that you realize as you're on your way back, is you think there's going to be a storm tomorrow evening at some time.
Probably should want to communicate that then to the rest of my team. Everyone, when we get back to camp, we should make sure our shelters are secured and everyone is safely put away. I think there's a storm coming. Something's
it
not
would-
quite right.
Yeah, would Aiden catch on?
If he points it out to you, you could eventually start to see the same signs. Yeah.
Right.
You didn't notice it at first, but with his assistance, you would begin to see him.
Theros is right. I hadn't noticed before, but Jasper has been very docile today. And he's looking up at the sky and noticing.
And once you guys return to camp, this was like the end of the movement for the day. Everybody is already starting to turn in. You guys had mentioned that you wanted to pick up the watches for the foreseeable future, at least.
Yeah, I already had, yeah.
How are you guys going to handle that? Just walk me through, like, are you each taking individual watches? And if so, what order are you going in? Like, just a brief rundown of how you plan on handling these watches.
Should
I'll
probably
take the
discuss-
darkest watch. So whatever time when it's the darkest, that just makes sense. Dark vision.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just envisioned that we would each take a watch throughout the night, split it up, do, I don't know, 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever it comes out to be. Or I guess it would be like 2 hours if you have like an 8-hour night rest. So I mean, I don't think the order really makes a difference, but Nairi can take the first watch.
Everybody's
when we
getting
get
a
back.
solid 12 hours.
Yeah.
The sick people might, but
That's what they say about role-playing games, though. You actually get to have a full night's rest. It's the only time you ever get to get a full night's
after
rest.
everything we've witnessed, we're definitely sleeping 8 hours.
Yeah.
Did I send you guys the meme where it's just like 8 hours is a full rest? This game is so unrealistic. It's
More
like,
like
6,
5.
right? It's 6, right? That's a full rest.
Yeah. So Nairi can take the first watch.
I
don't know,
have
maybe-
8 of these. So I will, and like normally I've been using them to set up the perimeter for us, and it's been easier because there's 4 of us and we could clump pretty close together that I could actually get all the way around us just fine because it's 10 feet for each one. So I've got 80 feet of bell wire and this tiny string. But with this many people, I'm assuming that I have to choose like choice locations kind of thing.
Probably.
Yeah, so that's how he's going to do it. Places that are hard to see or watch or would be particularly compromising if somebody snuck up through. Places that would be better hidden than others that would be better chances of not being detected. So he'll spend some time setting traps.
Okay. And what order of watch would you be?
Did anybody take first watch yet or no?
I said I could take first watch.
Then he'll wake up early and go to bed early.
I guess I'll go after Orin.
So I'll take second. Is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So it goes Nairi, followed by Orin,
And then
followed
Theros,
by
and then Aiden.
Theros, Aiden. Okay. Okay. So you guys return to camp, and you get everything situated, and you begin to take your watches. First up, on watch number 1, roll me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I think I fell asleep.
You don't really see much. You're a bit distracted. The shock of what you've just experienced is kind of robbing you of any focus that you could have on your surroundings. But nothing seems to be wrong as you're there. And your time passes and you are replaced. Second watch, roll me a perception check. Okay.
How very perceptive of you.
I'm on it. There's heads being chopped off. I am on it.
So, Orin, you're there. You're on watch. You have dark vision. You're keeping a pretty good eye on your surroundings. But as you are there and looking around, you maybe get slightly distracted, or perhaps you just don't notice it at first. But At the edge of the camp in the forest, before you even notice it, is a figure. And you turn your head as the figure is fully exposed, and you see it's the Wight from the cabin. Eyes red, glowing in the darkness with the light of undeath. This Wight is carrying a longbow, and it's looking directly at you. And you see it, and it sees you, and there's eerie silence in the camp before it turns and walks deeper into the forest. Not saying anything, and you notice it doesn't make even the slightest of sound. You had no idea it had approached, and had you not seen it, you'd have no idea it left. It was eerily quiet and stealthy. Out of game, it rolled a natural 19 on the stealth check plus modifiers. So,
No bueno.
For my friend Javier, they don't actually say no bueno. They just call it bad in Mexico, where he's from at least. Isn't that funny?
Where
'Cause
he's
I
from?
didn't know that.
My buddy Javier, he said down where he's from in Mexico, they don't actually say no bueno. He was listening to me play some video games, Apex Legends, and the one character said that. He goes, "Josh, what are you playing? That is not right." That made me laugh.
and Doran,
It's
apart from that, nothing else on your watch is out of place. You don't see the Wight return. You just noticed him appear at the edge of camp and then leave deeper into the forest, away from his cabin, with a longbow in hand.
That's basically GM saying, this is not leashed to the cabin. It can leave. It does leave.
I was gonna say,
So
and it's
be
not at the
afraid.
cabin.
Not tethered. This isn't your Dark Souls. This is true
Oh.
grit. There's no exploits here.
Okay, and as the second watch slowly comes to an end, Orin is replaced once more. So were you going to do something? Go ahead.
I tell Theros, horrified, white as a sheet, scared. I nibbling with my fingers, like, saw it. The Wight. Edge of the forest. Just looked at me and walked away.
Are you certain?
Panicked.
It wasn't
Just
some nightmare? I wouldn't put it past us, given what we've gone
Damn
through.
it, man, I'm certain.
All right.
Just keep an eye out.
Should we tell the others?
Nyari and Aiden?
Yes. They probably should know.
Agreed.
If it comes back, we're all going to have to fight it.
Agreed.
All right. You wake up, Nyari. I'll tell Aiden.
That's what I'll do. I'll go and wake up Nyari.
Same. I shake Aiden a little bit. You
Yeah.
go ahead first, Justin.
Wake up, lassie. And give her a little nudge.
Just kick her.
What? Is it morning already? I feel like I've barely been sleeping. What time is it?
It's still late. Barely been asleep. The Wight was at the woods. He knows where our camp is, and he just walked up and then walked away back into the woods.
What?
I'm positive.
But I didn't see anything. Why would it come now?
I don't know. And
Do you think it's because we brought the links with us?
maybe. I don't know. Orin's panicked. He's panicked. No idea. That is horrifying, Jason.
Super
Okay.
spooked.
I kind of wish I didn't roll such a good perception roll. I don't want to know that the Wight was there.
Well, now I'm thinking with my perception roll being so low, was it just standing there the whole time, just
Like
watching
watching
me?
you? Yeah.
That's awful. That's the
No.
worst thing
Oh my
ever.
God. That scene reminded me a little bit though when you first saw the mites, and you're like these big head things. And I
Yeah.
was like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
And
I'm
this
sure
time's like,
Lauren's panicked. Just
Yeah.
panicked right now.
I'm-
Like, oh, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. That's not
I'm
gonna
in
be
danger.
a thing. I'm in danger. Like,
What do we do? Should the rest of us stay up?
let's go join Aiden and Theros. And I guess I'm gonna head back over to where they're at.
Another cool thing at this level, it doesn't normally matter except for situations like this. I gain a bonus feat as well called Endurance, which allows me to travel further than I would otherwise in a forced march and stuff like that. But it also allows me to sleep in my armor without becoming fatigued in the morning.
Huh.
So you will actually find Aiden in his breastplate still propped up and sitting rather than like laying down like
Oh
you
yeah,
would.
because those of us sleeping wouldn't be in our armor.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Right.
son of a gun.
Yeah, so I don't have to don armor, especially since I wear breastplate, would actually take quite a bit of time. So I tend not to take it off very often anymore. I've just gotten used to always being at the ready.
Aiden, wake up.
As soon as he hears anything, he'll kind of like stir awake real quickly and like go for his bow, and then realize it's Theros. What is it, Theros? And he's getting ready and standing up.
You don't have to get up yet, but I want you to be aware. Orin, I was just taking his place at watch, and he says he saw the Wight. It was at the edge of the camp, just staring at him menacingly. And it walked away. Thank you.
Hey.
We lost you, Josh.
Again?
A little
I
bit,
think
yeah.
it's your noise suppression. Turn that off because I've had trouble with
Yeah.
that before. I think it messes stuff up.
Wait, he's saying that Josh sounds noisy. That he's
Yeah.
every time he
You can
talks,
hear-
he's just noise.
You can hear me now?
Yes. Much better.
Crystal
So-
clear.
It was the noise suppression. That's too bad. I'll have to be careful about when I.
Oh, this has happened before where we lose him completely.
Maybe it wasn't the noise.
No, this happens on Cult all the time.
Yeah, happened to Rune Lords a couple of times.
What in the world, guys? Guys,
We're
I'm
back.
here.
Can hear
Yep,
you.
good.
we hear you.
Hear you. Nothing's
Yep.
different.
We hear you.
Okay, great. What did you miss?
And
All
I
of
didn't
it.
hear any of your response to Theros.
Okay. What did he say? I'm not gonna role play it out again because I can't remember. What did you say to him?
He said that the Wight was at the edge of the camp, and Orin saw him, and then he just walked away.
Oh yes. He'll sigh and kind of be like, I don't know what we should do.
Well, here, Orin and Nyari are coming over. Well, let's talk about it.
Yes, we'll talk about it. And he'll get all of his weapons and everything and go.
Well, I don't think that we should wake up anyone else because we will cause a stir in the camp if we let this news get out. I don't think any of them even know what we saw at the cabin yet, so I think we need to be very careful. But I also don't know if we all need to stay up tonight and do the remainder of the watches.
Nyari, where is the lynx?
I had it tied up outside of my tent. I believe it's still unconscious.
You should probably check.
I'll go back and check on the lynx.
It is still there.
Is it still unconscious?
Yeah, it's still unconscious. It's at like minus 10 hit points, but you guys stabilized it, so it won't like become conscious for another like several days, assuming you guys continue to just care for it and let it naturally heal. So basically, until you guys magically heal it back up to full hit points, it's gonna stay unconscious there.
Should we tie it up on the outskirts of the camp? In case it's just trying to retrieve its pet?
Well, the other thing that it could be is maybe it's trying to kill the lynx and it's trying to come back to kill it. In which case,
didn't.
I don't want to subject the animal to that.
That is
Aiden
true.
will interrupt at some point. I am beginning to think it does not matter what his motivation is. He is a threat to us. And I hate to be this out for blood, but he'll say under whisper tones. But I think maybe we will have to hunt him instead. I wonder about that.
I saw what that did to you, and there's no way that I am seeking that creature out. No way. If it comes into this camp to hurt these people, then by all means I will defend this camp, but I am not going to seek out that thing for blood. I saw exactly what it did to you, and it scared me like nothing has ever scared me before.
I understand your fear, Niari, but I am tired of running.
I get that. I am tired too. I don't know what to do. It feels like the entire world is against us and nothing is going right. But we should not seek out further danger at this point. We have to keep running. We do not have the luxury of stopping at this point. And I know that you're weary of it. I am too. But until we are somewhere safe, we have no choice.
Orin, should one of us interject? They could argue like this for hours. Should one of us interject?
I think we should heal the cat.
That might not be a bad idea. But it
Let's
also
just do
might
it.
not be good.
Let's just do it. It'll be fine.
Should we just let
As
them
a-
argue and go heal it on our own?
Yes.
assuming Theros kind of said that under bated breath.
Yeah, it was supposed to be whispered.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's leaning down to tell me that. We're whispering.
Yeah. I
Or
think,
you
I
and
think
I already argue. We're like, what do we do?
as like a final point to make, Aiden will kind of see the sentiments of the group and will kind of just be like, I have said before, I trust you, Nayari, and I will do that. But I wonder, honestly, what is safe but what we can create? I wonder if there's nowhere to run to. That's my only fear.
It very well could be the case. And if it were just me, then I would say by all means, I would stamp out this threat. But if something happens to us, we are the only ones capable of defending these people. And if we die, they die.
So then I'm gonna go to the links, and
Okay.
I want to try something new. Never tried it before.
Okay.
Get these magic fingers ready to try a heal check to treat deadly wounds.
Okay.
Can I try that?
Sure. It is, I believe, a DC 20.
It is.
So
I have
I don't know if you can take 20 on that. You can take 10. I don't know if your modifier is high enough to meet a 20.
Can
if you
I
take
aid
10.
him?
I do. So my modifier is 10.
Oh, so if your modifier is 10, then you can take 10 and just succeed.
Nice.
especially if Theros is aiding you. So you can treat deadly wounds, and now I have to look up to see what the hit dice of that creature was to see how much hit points that gives it.
3d20.
What have we awoken? I've
And then
made
you
a
all-
horrible mistake.
Justin's like, fly, you fools!
Yeah, fly, you fools! And just
It's
jump
one of
on
the
it.
elder gods.
So
This dwarf delved
treat
too greedily
deadly
and too deep.
wounds. Restores 1 hit point per level of the creature. I believe creatures like this would go. Their level would be their hit dice. So it gains 3 hit points. So I'm going to arbitrarily say it is now at -5 because I don't actually remember the exact negative it was, but I do know it got hit by a power attack from a great sword. So it was pretty
minus
far
10.
down.
Yeah, it was minus
Okay.
10. I remember because Josh said, oh, it must not have the average con
Right.
being 10. So
So it
That
is
is accurate. 'Cause I
at-
just listened to it.
-7 then.
So with
There
my
we go.
new channel energy, I don't get the 2d6 yet till we resolve the whole level thing, right?
Yeah, I would say you don't get
1d6.
anything new until the next morning.
Right.
And even then, we have to roll the save.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give it.
While you're doing that, Theros would be getting his scroll of charm animals. Charm animals ready, just in case it tries to be violent again.
Oh,
Aiden's thinking.
2d6.
Roleplay thinking.
Channel energy doesn't get the plus modifier, correct?
Correct. It's just the die roll.
Okay. Roll 2d6 because I'm gonna use 2 charges of it.
Okay.
And my face. I need to.
Is that minus 2?
Nyari is full though. Thanks for that.
Everybody sleeping has a really good rest.
Everyone's
Whoa,
well-
whoa, whoa! That tickles.
Looking at you, Theros.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. You got any healing
Oh.
available?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to cast that scroll real fast afterwards.
Do you use
Well,
all your
we
channels for the day?
I did. I only had 2 left. You said you could use it on a sleeping animal, though, right? The charm.
Yeah, there's technically nothing stopping. Yeah.
So you could do that first and then heal it. Maybe.
Sure, yeah, I'll cast Charm Animal on it. He just said there wouldn't be any indication of whether it was successful or not because it was unconscious.
Correct.
When it wakes up, you'll determine whether or not it was successful.
We'll know when it's.
Wait,
real
wait,
angry
we're
when it
about
wakes
to
up.
awaken a dangerous animal in the middle of our camp.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, too.
Listen, we can kill it if we have to.
Can we move this beast a ways a little bit so we don't awaken or frighten anyone? Should this not go well?
Good point.
It's a pretty heavy cat. I'm going to need some help. Hanging out with Orin has made Theros a little bit more sassy.
What did you have in mind?
Maybe just a few feet away from these tents at least. Right next to Nyari's is a bit exposed.
Pick it up and carry it 6 feet.
'Kay.
Over.
It weighs 120 pounds.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Well, it might be less than that because it's not technically that creature. It's
Well,
just
I can
using those stats.
drag 750, so I drag it over.
The two of us together drag.
Yeah, it might be closer to like 100. I don't know.
Oh, then I lift it over my head just to like brag.
Just benching this.
I'm benching this
Elixir's lying on the ground. Okay, so once we've moved it a little bit away from the camp, Theros will attempt the scroll of charm animal on it.
Okay.
Anyone on watch right now, or are we just doing our thing over here? While
Yeah, you guys are the only ones that are on watch, so.
Well, Aiden's not with the group. He's still
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't been involved in any of this. He's thinking about how he's going to continue life tomorrow.
Okay.
Just so everyone here is aware, I only have 5 charges left of this wand, so we'll have to be more efficient with our use of spells and other healing properties from now on. So
Can you only treat deadly wounds once?
I think it's once per day if I had to guess.
Oh.
But
can provide-
it uses 2 charges of a healer's kit, and healer's kit have 10, so.
I just didn't know if Theros treated deadly wounds, if that would stack on top of what Orin did.
A creature can only benefit from its deadly wounds being treated 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. Yep.
Never mind.
And just so you know, doing that takes an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So an hour passed while I did.
Yeah. So just keep in mind, if you guys are spending too much time all being awake,
We're going to be fatigued tomorrow.
you may be fatigued if you guys spend too much time all awake at the same time. Just keep that in mind.
Should we wait and do this in the morning just in case this doesn't end well? And just continue to keep watch tonight?
Theros, you are pretty perceptive. If it does come back, I'm sure that you would notice it.
I hope so.
And I think if it meant us any harm, it would have done something when it first came around. I don't know why it would just come and walk away. Maybe it just wants us to know that it knows where we are.
Perhaps. That does seem unlikely. Why would it come all the way to our camp just for this lynx? It seems unlikely.
Orin, did it do anything? Did it say anything?
Nothing. Just stared at me and then walked away.
I mean, we are fairly close to its cabin. Maybe it just does rounds at night and it just happened to run into our camp. I mean, being what it is, I doubt it needs to sleep. So maybe it just passes the time by wandering through the forest?
I don't know. But we're going to need to be at our full strength if we do face it again. And hopefully it won't be tonight.
All right.
Let's
well,
reevaluate this in the morning.
If anything happens, wake us immediately.
You have my word.
She'll go back to sleep.
Orin
Okay.
and I will drag the beast back next to...
Drag the links back. No, I do bench presses with it as I move it.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I guess the rest of y'all are going to go back to turning in.
I'm going to sleep next to Theros on the log or wherever he is posted.
Okay.
So he can just tap me immediately. Since I can sleep in my armor now, I imagine I can sleep
Just
in
about anywhere.
less than... yeah, exactly.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll that perception then?
Yes, I would.
I see him kind of like crisscross
not
applesauce,
great.
like leaning over his propped on his greatsword kind of
I
thing, you
have
know?
10 points in it, and I roll this so often.
So you're there and you don't see anything off necessarily. You do see continuing signs of the animals acting as animals do before a storm, that strange sixth sense that they have, perhaps. But you don't see anything else. You don't see any signs of the Wight on your watch. And as your watch comes to a close, you can just tap Iden awake.
His grip tightens on his sword as you wake him.
I did not see anything.
Get some sleep, Theros. I will watch.
Thank you, my friend.
And he sheathes his greatsword and knocks a whistling arrow in his bow as he stands watch.
Okay. Roll your perception check. So, Iden, you're there, standing watch, and you have a lot on your mind. You're thinking about a lot of things, and perhaps, like some of the others, all these things that have been happening to you are distracting you ever so slightly. And about halfway through your watch, you don't notice right away that a figure walks into the clearing of the camp. And by the time you notice it, I don't know if you have a light or what you're using to see since it is dark.
Yeah, I will have. It's also early morning too for my shift, remember? So I don't know. The sun's probably not up yet, but maybe the dawn's breaking and I'll have had a hooded lantern up.
Yeah, so it would at best, it would be dim light, but with the canopy in the forest, it would still be darkness effectively. It takes a while before you actually get any light under the thick canopy of the Fangwood forest.
So just in my immediate 30 feet,
Okay.
I can see.
So it's not until this figure is already within like 30 feet of you that you see it. Maybe you're looking down and you see the feet. You see the feet in your peripheral vision as you're looking down. And as you look up, you see the Wight standing there before you, glowing red eyes, looking directly at you. And you notice that it has a longbow, no longer in hand. It is strapped onto its back, and slung over its shoulder is a adult deer, just almost weightless on its shoulders, just carrying it like it's nothing. And it looks at you, sees you, and you're staring at each other. And a moment passes as it then just starts walking back in the direction that you know is its cabin. And eventually it gets out of the range of light and into the forest.
Now, I think that sparks a realization for him. Whether or not it's accurate, he will infer we're just in his territory kind of thing. You know? And we're probably too many for him to be looking for a fight, but he doesn't want us here. I think that if we just keep on moving, we just keep on moving. So he's going to let him go. Still has the arrow notched in case he comes back, and he'll just kind of stare off into the distance that he leaves for a while.
Okay. And the rest of your watch ends without any notable events. The morning begins to break, and people start to slowly wake up and leave their tents. And once everybody is finally awake, what does everybody do?
Theris will check in with Aiden to make sure he's okay and find out if he saw anything.
I saw the Wight again. It came back. But my opinion has shifted.
What did it do? Did it do anything?
He had a deer. A very large deer. But I do not know if he really wants us dead, rather than he just wants us gone. I think we just leave.
Well, I'm okay with that. I'd rather not pick a fight with it if we don't have to.
He'll nod.
We should tell the others.
Yes, I'm going to pick up my traps. I'll meet with you in a bit.
All right.
And he goes off dismantling all of them.
And,
None of them were sprung.
No. As you were on watch, you saw that he came directly from the direction of some of them, but it doesn't look like any of them were sprung. It seems like he must have probably noticed them.
He's been watching us, or the DC is way too low. I mean, it's only DC 20 to notice them, I think.
Yep.
So, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. So you get the sense that maybe this guy, maybe he was able to see them and noticed and just avoided them.
Mm-hmm.
Theris will inform Orin and Nyari of what transpired with Aiden. And, yeah, just fill them in.
Okay. And on that, Nyari, as you wake up, I don't know how all of the tents are situated, but I imagine that you're probably nearby with the tents of Illica, probably, who in turn would be nearby Arena's tent, who in turn would be nearby Auburn's tent. So I imagine all of those tents are kind of in that general area. As you leave your tent, Auburn is slowly leaving hers as well. And you look up as you kind of turn around, and standing kind of perched at the peak of your tent, just above the entrance, is a very large owl. And you look at it, and Auburn is getting out of her tent as you're looking at this owl, and you see that the owl is holding a pair of like leather bracers in its beak. And as it sees you, it just kind of cocks its head a little bit, and it just kind of blinks a little, and maybe it does that thing where it spins its head around like owls do.
Just like
Um,
shoots him. Let's
and
go and just
then-
shoots him off.
And then it kind of like leans forward and like drops the bracers at your feet. And then it kind of like turns and it sees Auburn, and Auburn sees it, and then it kind of flutters away into the forest. And Auburn kind of walks over to you and she says, I don't suppose you know that owl, do you?
No, but I have to say that the animals around here lately have been acting very strange.
Just Theros? Oh, not Theros. I didn't know the owl.
I am assuming that you weren't there to see it.
Oh, gotcha. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. This is as soon as she wakes up. So probably as soon as Theros got up to talk to you, this
Yeah.
was happening simultaneously.
Got it.
Should I have recognized that owl?
Oh no, I don't think you'd have recognized it, but I do. A good friend of mine used to keep that owl as a companion. His name was Chorus. He was a member of Gristledown, and I think maybe he, with him gone, his owls maybe just not got anywhere to go. I'm not quite sure why it seemed so attached to you, but... And she kind of shrugs. She says, well, I mean, I knew Chorus, but I didn't know his owl all that well, so could be anything.
I don't know if I understand, but you're sure that there's nothing wrong with these bracers? I don't
She kind
really
of-
know what they are.
She kind of looks at the bracers and she says, like her eyebrows raised, she's like, oh, this is interesting. I know these bracers. Yeah, these belonged to Chorus when he was alive. He used these quite often. These are bracers of archery. They help you to hone your aim, steady your hand. They're very useful. I don't see anything wrong with them.
Well, that's very interesting. I do know how to use a bow. I just have never used it as my primary weapon before, but maybe these could come in handy.
Did you
Bracers of archery.
did all of you kind of give Auburn the rundown of what you did at Gristledown, or just the fact that it had been burned down?
I didn't.
Like,
really
does she
say-
know what you guys did afterwards?
Theros never would have explained it to her, and he was the only one
Okay.
who talked to her. Unless
Okay.
one of you all retroactively did in a discussion with her.
I don't think Nyari spoke with her really.
Okay. So she doesn't seem to have any ideas for why the owl would have come to your tent, but she just kind of says, well, I suppose this is a gift to you from Chorus, from his owl, his companion. Whatever reason the owl had, it seemed to have taken a liking to you, and it's given you this gift.
Well, I do have to say that after everything that has happened, who am I to reject a gift? And I guess I'll put them on. Because why not?
I want bracers of archery. Those are cool. Wow.
Don't know if I fully understand,
I
but
take the lesser one. So it gives you a +1 competence bonus on attack rolls.
Yep, that's all they do.
Pretty cool.
I'm assuming only with a bow.
Yes, with any
Doesn't specify.
with any like bow, not crossbow, any bow,
Oh, up
you
above
get a
this.
+1 competence bonus to attack rolls. That's it.
What does that bring you up to?
+6.
Oh, okay.
And
I'll put
one
this
other
on.
thing that I noticed, a handout that I apparently forgot to actually hand out, I guess. I will show it to all of you.
Is that
This-
handout number 2?
Yes.
I read that and I was like, were we supposed to know this? 'Cause
Yeah, so
this is an
I must have
interesting piece
forgotten
of
all about this.
information.
I must have forgotten all about this, but back when you guys found York's stuff, you found an amulet of natural armor in a package labeled Children of Stone. This handout would have been with that, and it gives a little bit of context. I must have completely forgotten to hand it out at the time. I don't know if one of you wants to read it or everybody can read it on their own.
We should have someone read it. Whoever wants to.
I guess Theros would not volunteer, but if somebody asked him to, he'd do it.
Sure. Someone in their voice, just so that it's kind of cool.
Salutations, children of stone. My emissary approaches you as a sign of respect, but by now you have seen my soldiers move unchecked across this green and fertile land. The Iron Fang Legion means to make all of Nirmathus a home to those the humans would hunt, and turn those same humans into our servants and prey. You would be wise to join our alliance. There is no room for neutral parties when war is all around you, and only one side in this conflict will offer you strength and shelter. As a sign of the protection of that the Legion offers, kindly accept this token of my generosity. Take your time in making your decision, but I trust you will come to the conclusion that provides your small and vulnerable tribe a future. Kindest regards, General Azersi.
Yes. And do any of you read? Do any of you speak Goblin or read Goblin?
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
As of
Um,
level 3.
You would be able to translate the name Azersi. If you were to kind of translate that into Goblin, it basically means Aza the Immortal. It's a name with a title as part of the name.
Mm-hmm.
Zarsi the Immortal?
Aza the Immortal, but
Aza.
it's written out as Azersi. So that is something that you guys would have found with York alongside that amulet and the package. So
Does anyone know who the Children of the Stone are?
Are we doing this like retroactively in the past, or
yes.
okay?
So you can roll a knowledge local.
Not geography.
Correct.
Then no.
Same, not for me.
Yes, you'd be rolling a knowledge about the creatures or people of the area, not of the area's features itself. So if nobody has knowledge local, then you're not sure.
We could ask Auburn about it, though.
Yep. You can ask her. She would say, I'm not familiar with the Children of Stone by name, but given the context of this letter, they could be talking. I know there's a tribe of troglodytes in the forest. They only really show up once or twice a generation, to be honest. I've never seen them myself, but I know they're deeper into the Fangwood a little bit. But maybe they're talking about them. I mean, they live in caves. That's the best guess that I have. I don't know of anything by Children of Stone specifically. I'm sorry, but that's my best guess.
And the map that we found with York had those caves marked Children of Stone, right?
Yes.
Oh.
That checks out.
Lizard people?
Are troglodytes lizard people?
Yeah, kinda.
Kinda.
Oh. And troglodytes are gross, aren't they?
Yeah, kinda.
Huh.
Yeah, kinda.
But without a knowledge local, you can't identify anything about them. So that's all I'll say.
See, that's where knowledge local is kind of crappy. It's like people that grew up in the area, but their class doesn't give them knowledge local, so they don't know stuff about the area. It's kind of sucky,
There's
but
plenty of ways of getting knowledge local outside of a class.
yeah, but I've heard other GMs kind of say they play knowledge local in different ways just because it can kind of, I don't know, hinder the characters. But
Yeah, well, I've done that before, but in this case, given the fact that, like she said, they only appear every like other generation or whatever, they're not common enough that I would just give it away to somebody without knowledge local.
yeah, no, I'm totally on board with this case. It's just that none of us have knowledge local as a class skill, but like 2 of us have grown up in this area. One of us has been here for a couple of years. Like it just would make sense that you would know something, but it
Not
is what it is.
necessarily, though. Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Fangwood's pretty big, I guess. And if it
So
sounds like Albrin said that they don't show up very often.
no,
Yeah, no, specifically with this, it makes sense. It does. It's just with anything else, it might
Well, that's
not.
fair.
so it is the morning of. This is the 7th day. This is the end of the first week. It is the morning. You guys have the whole day ahead of you. I think we've accomplished all of the other things that we were going to do. What are your plans?
Quick question:
Wait,
Are
it's
we
the
refilled on
7th
health?
day?
Would
What do you mean the 27th?
This is the beginning of I believe, the 7th day of the campaign.
Oh.
Because yesterday was the 6th round of refugee actions, right? So
Yeah.
it would be like the 8th. So it could be the 8th day of the campaign because the first day was in Phaendar.
Real quick. First thing in the morning, after he's done picking up all the bellwire traps, he's gonna make a bit of a detour. Do we have a weapons stash here at all in any capacity?
We do.
He's gonna look it over. How many weapons do we have, and of what types? In brief summary.
Oh, we have whichever ones we found and provided, right? Like we don't actually have like
Yeah,
extra weapons.
you only have the things that you found
In our
and
party
wanted to take with you, which
We have
I
been-
think is a very limited number of items.
I have not gotten rid of anything on the sheet. So everything we found has been labeled in camp on the sheet.
Okay.
Would we be at full health by the morning? Like, would we have
Uh,
people heal us up, or do we? Need
Yeah,
to...
sure, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Okay.
if that
Yeah,
was the
Auburn
case.
could channel if needed.
Well, too, we also are we now leveled?
Yes.
Would you like us to roll our fortitude saves?
I want to know what you guys are going to do first.
Okay.
Because it's like if you guys are immediately planning on going and doing a specific thing, then I might hold off because you wouldn't technically have to make the roll until later. But I guess it wouldn't really matter because you're still taking the penalties, whether they're temporary or permanent. So I guess actually it doesn't matter if we roll now.
It doesn't matter to me either.
So
We'll follow your roll.
Yeah, sure, we can.
You tell
Sure,
us.
we can roll now and just get it out of the way.
Oh, real quick,
Yes.
would the Aegis of
No.
okay.
Nope.
Never mind.
I had to look that up myself because I figured that might come up, and no.
Well. And Sarah, I do not know what that is. It says it's magic, but I'm not entirely sure what
I
that is.
don't. I don't know what it is. It's 150
Um,
gold.
I don't want to click
no
this
idea.
fortitude button.
It just says 6Y7. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like somebody. Maybe I overwrote it with something that we were typing, and I don't remember what was on there.
Question.
So I'll just get rid of
This
it.
is just. Is this just would this be a fortitude save, Jason?
Yes.
It's not calculated, I don't think, automatically into my rolling system, but my resilient trait gives me a +1 trait bonus on fortitude saves.
It should be calculated in there because I looked at that.
It should
If
be.
you go to your main tab,
Mm-hmm.
and then click the little gear by the
Yeah.
fort. In the miscellaneous, it says 2, and one of
Okay.
those is your trait. The other one is the cloak.
Okay, cool.
So it is added in
Nice.
there.
Well, that's easy then.
However, what is not added is the fact that you're all taking a -1 penalty because of the temporary negative level that you have.
Mm.
So what we can do is we'll just have you guys roll, and the result will just subtract 1 to the final result. And that should be accurate with everybody, I believe.
Who wants to roll first?
First up, is anybody going to be using a hero point on these rolls, or does anybody feel risky?
No, I will be using a hero point.
Same. I have 2, so I guess I'll just use 1.
Okay. So let's have Orin go first. So you make 2 fortitude saves.
There you are.
Holy
Oh.
crap.
Woo,
I'm
look at
curious
that!
what the second one would have been.
Look at that dwarf go!
Oh, second one would have failed. So you are able to remove your temporary negative level.
I am clean. Good luck, guys.
You can feel your drained energy return, and you're fine.
Okay.
Next off, we will go to Theros.
Come on. Ooh!
Wow!
Yeah!
There it is.
Wow!
Man.
Would the second one have also succeeded?
Let's find out.
Yes.
Yeah!
Wow.
Oh man.
I think this
So-
is where the luck runs out.
Come on, buddy. You got this. You've got this.
So Theros, you're fine. Oh,
No!
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Item. Oh.
Oh,
Is that enough? That's got to be enough. That's
I
enough,
don't know.
right?
I don't know
If
about
it's a
that.
DC, if it's higher than a DC 20 fortitude save, then I quit playing this game right now.
Anybody want to? Everybody place bets on what the DC is. I want everybody to make a guess.
I want to
18.
say
I want 18.
no.
I'm gonna say 12.
Yeah, right. It's so high.
16. I'm guessing 16.
I think it's such a high DC.
19.
Okay.
Only 1 white. I mean, how powerful are they?
Oh, we're level 2. If you think about it, to throw that character or that creature at us at level 2 and then give us a DC 20 fortitude
Right.
save would be nuts.
I'm going
So?
16.
Okay. So it was a DC 14.
Okay.
Oh.
So most of you had about a 50-50, a little better than 50-50 shot.
That advantage was very necessary.
For,
Yeah.
for you
Yeah.
it was.
And Orin.
Just for context, if you hadn't used a hero point and failed that, you'd have a negative level for
Most
an
of the rest.
extraordinarily long time because
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to get rid of it until Orin was like 7th level.
And there's not going to be a priest that we'd run to in the way that we could even barter to get it cast on me.
No.
Do Justin and I then not use hero points, or does like assigning it to that just in case
No,
have counted?
They count.
Yeah, so the way it works is that if you decide I want to use a hero point on this roll, so you decide to use the hero point prior to the roll.
Okay, that's what I thought I was
Right.
understanding. I just
Yeah.
want clarification.
Yeah, it's one of those
Not-
things where it's like, this is a very important roll. I want the insurance of having advantage. And if we were rolling like actual dice, if we were all around the same table, you could like pick up 2d20s and roll them at once, but you can't really do that on
Yeah.
roll 20. So
Well, we're all okay then.
yeah, you all managed to shrug off this negative energy. And you have the day
Wow.
before you.
All right, let's go fight it again.
Yeah, we're level 3 now.
Feel it,
I got
people.
concentrate ready. Let's do this. And a 19 AC. I'm feeling froggy.
He dropped this
No,
in
no, no,
already.
no, no.
No. You
Yes,
take
yes,
that
yes,
back.
yes,
You
yes.
take that
No,
back.
you take me back to that shack. He's going down. I want that boot. I need that speed.
I will stand 50 feet away and just shoot arrows.
Does it do drain energy if he hits you with a ranged attack?
Does he have? Well, I guess he has a bow.
I want to say probably not.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's only on his slam.
You mean you
Josh,
want
we,
to say yes, he does, but you have to say no, he doesn't.
yeah. Josh, we had a brilliant plan that involved your character
Yes.
where we wanted to go back to the shack because we think that the other boot is in the shack since it's the treasure cabin. So we were going to give you the potion of pass without a trace and invisibility. And since you have the highest stealth, we were like just going to send you in and scout out and see if there's any treasure in there, and then
Cast silence on you.
cast silence on you so you wouldn't make any noise. And
Yeah.
now you already can't be tracked because you're in the forest. So
This is a
it's
foolproof plan, bud. So you
foolproof.
basically have to do it.
Absolutely foolproof.
By
And then
that
we already
logic,
know
yeah.
he leaves the cabin at some points. So I mean, we just have to pick a point when he's not there. Just scout it out, wait till he leaves.
When
Jump
he
in
comes
there
back
real quick.
tomorrow night, I'll engage him in conversation.
Yeah, what happens when you steal from him and then he comes after us in the middle of the night again, though?
Well, cross that bridge when we get to it.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Andrew. I don't got time for your moral conundrums about
Right?
That's
I mean,
not a
what's
moral
he gonna-
conundrum. That's a I don't want us all to die conundrum.
What's he gonna do with one boot? I mean, he's not gonna miss it. He already can't use it.
Right?
It don't matter.
So,
he don't want us here.
For my morning, I bless some water. So I have one water skin of blessed water, of holy water now. And then do my prayers and stuff. And then I'm gonna scoot over to the links and nudge it.
Okay.
Prod it with a stick.
Okay. So it is still at -2.
I'm going to be talking to Auburn.
Okay. Aiden is going to be talking with Auburn. Oren's going over to the links. Theros, are you also going over with the links?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Oren.
Okay. And Nyari is.
I'm gonna go talk to Jet.
Okay. So we will do the links first. So Oren and Theros, you go over to the links, and you know that it is on the cusp of being brought back to consciousness. Maybe it gained 1 hit point over the night and is at -1 now.
Maybe it did.
What are you gonna do?
Use the instead. Now I'm gonna try the scroll of charm animals on it.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it one of my fancy new channel energies. Wait,
Okay.
no. Use the
Oh.
wand instead. Never mind. Let's not do that. Now that it's 2d6, use the wand. That's less useful than a 2d6 heal.
Can you treat deadly wounds again on it?
You already
It'd
did.
take an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, and it can only benefit every 24 hours. It's only been like, what?
Oh yeah, I
Use
forgot.
it.
6 hours, 7 hours.
Charge. Let's see. Roll.
He's gonna roll an 8 on the die this time.
Right?
You do have a scroll too, by the way. Scroll of
okay.
Cure Light Wounds.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
At least it'll also be barely conscious if we heal it
Yeah.
with 3 points, so we could knock it out again.
We might get up and smack it. It gets aggressive, so we punch it until it's knocked out.
Well, hopefully the scroll of charm animal worked. So
Yeah, it's just PETA. What can we do for it?
Yeah, right.
I had rolled the will save when you had first attempted to do it before, so I'll carry the will save over, and you see as it wakes up, its eyes fly open, and you can see the manic, crazy madness in its eyes. But then a moment passes, and that kind of fades away, and it calms down. It looks at the two of you, and it seems like it is viewing you, especially you, Theros, as like a very close friend. It just kind of slowly gets up and walks over to you and kind of like nudges your leg a little bit.
I had half a thought that it might not work if it was in fact a person. He's like, well, charm animal did work. How weird is that? So weird.
let's see, the duration of that's like what, 1 hour per level,
just,
so
like,
3 hours.
Look at Theros and be like, well, can you talk to it? He doesn't know much about druids.
No,
No idea what they're able to do.
I do love cats, but I've never been able to speak with them. At least, not with them understanding anything I'm saying. You know, can I retroactively have prepared speak with animals spell, given we were thinking about figuring out the I never prepared my spells for the day before we did this.
Sure. Now I have to actually do work.
Yeah, what does a
What
cat
do-
sound like when it talks?
What are we doing? This is such a weird scenario.
Right?
It's
We're
just
both
like-
standing there like, what do we do now? Like,
This
we
is
walk
why I went
up.
to Auburn's. This is a little too silly.
Okay, yeah, okay. I know how that spell works now. If you would like to have that be one of the spells that you prepared today, go ahead.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm just making sure I have the rest of these spells so I don't have to cheat that out again.
On a quick side note, guys, if one of us does die, I have gentle repose now where I can carry your body without it decaying, so
It's good to know.
that's a plus.
Good to know.
You joke, but that actually is a very integral part to a body recovery service if you want to
Yeah.
cast resurrection on yourself
Exactly.
or reincarnate.
Just keep that gently reposed for years and years until we get high enough level to bring them back.
To actually resurrect till I'm like, what level do I get resurrection? It's pretty high.
Yeah. It's probably like 9th level or something.
So
I was thinking in this world that has like high level clerics, I wonder if there's certain things like in towns as a general service, like 1 or 2 people are just brought back to life per year if they're prominent individuals or as a boon to small people. Because I mean, spells don't get wasted. You know, if you don't use them, they do. That's the only reason. You know.
I feel like if it was a big enough city with like a temple district, that they would be able to do stuff like that. Like you could pay
Yeah.
for that service if you had enough money.
Well, it's kind of interesting to think of how it might affect the political structure, or like there might be guilds
Right.
too that were like, hey, as a member of this clergy, you are required to do X amount of good deeds to the
Right.
populace or whatever. Sure, that stuff would be set up in a world like this. It's kind of interesting.
So, Theros would have, prepared that spell. Retroactively not having that conversation with Oren, he'd say, well, I do have a spell that might help me understand. I guess I'll give it a try. And he'll conjure the spell. I don't know. What is it? What is this spell? Evoke spell? I don't remember. Anyway, he casts Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And
For
says,
3 minutes, you can talk to him
kind of
or her.
scratches the link behind the ear friendly and says, hello, my friend. I'm so sorry we hurt you the other day. What was going on? Are you all right?
I'm not going to give
You could give him like Morgana from Persona 5.
I was
Hey,
gonna say I need a cat voice.
hey, go to sleep.
Like the cat guy in Log Horizon.
Oh, there you
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
character.
yeah, I'm not.
Everything's
I'm not
everything's
doing that.
nyan
make him
at the end of
super
whatever you say. You just say nyan.
Nyan. Or you could make him like the super, like the black cat in what's it? Your Lie in April. It's just straight man, just like a normal businessman kind of voice.
Or the American dub for Ghost Stories.
So you had asked, what was going on and whatnot, and it replies and says, "I was protecting my master."
So the Wight is your master.
No, and yes.
Do you approve of this relationship with the Wight?
He was my master.
Oh, I see. Is there anything we can do to help you or him?
I do not know. I hunt for him. I bring him small animals to eat, but he does not eat them. And you can recall that when you entered the cabin, you saw the bones of small animals all over the place.
Yeah.
What was the deer for then?
How did you get hurt? You were injured when we saw you yesterday.
It was not injured until you guys
Oh, I thought
attacked it.
it was just crazed. Okay.
It was
It was
just crazy.
mangy. Yeah, and mange.
Gotcha. One second, I gotta get the music back up again here. So I guess yeah, he'll repeat the question. Is there anything we can do to help you or your master?
I do not know.
What am I hearing? Just meow 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 meow.
Basically, we're hearing a series of
Theros and the cat are just
like-
meowing at each other.
purring or non-verbal movements.
Theros is purring.
I don't like what I'm witnessing. I don't think my god would like this. My god disapproves.
Witchcraft.
Well, Theros will apologize for hurting him, and we were worried about him. You seemed frightened yesterday. Was that because of us?
I was not frightened.
Has anyone else been through here other than us and your master?
There were small creatures that came and left, but none like you.
Probably the mites. He's probably talking about the mites.
Theros will turn aside to Orin and say, apparently this beast is the pet of that Wight, and I don't think he understands that the Wight is undead now. He just continues to serve his master even unto death. I don't think it means us any harm on its own. It was just seeking to protect its master. What do you think we should do with it? I did remember to say this in common, not in cat.
I'm like, why are you purring at me? This is getting weird. I don't know. We could use more information. If it knows anything about the area. I mean, we're lost. We're hanging on by a thread. Anything would help.
I guess I'll then turn back to the lynx and ask it,
Do you travel far from here, or do you spend most of your time in this area?
I spend most of my time in this area. We used to go further, but then we stopped.
Orin, can you grab Nyari and Aiden? I think that they need to be a part of this, understanding where we need to go from here. I think we should let him go back to his master.
I'll go and find Nyari and Aiden and just tell them Tree Boy's talking to a cat.
Giant purple head creature.
Like, Orin's out of his element here. He doesn't live in the woods. There's a druid purring at a cat, and somehow he's learning things. I don't.
I'm sure Nyari would jump at the chance to be able to talk to this cat, so she's probably gonna be hightailing it over. What's Aiden gonna do?
Well, during my section, I was gonna say, in this case, it'll be while he's walking over there. Somewhere in Aiden's head, he's trying to remember his time in the temple, and I'm sure he knows of Pharasma, and I know that he probably understands the basics of undeath and that it's, vile and an abomination. He probably falls in line with Pharisman dogma on it, that they're just irredeemable and defying her will, that kind of thing. But I want to roll a knowledge check to infer maybe not any more qualities about the Wight, but what should be done, like as far as proper religious procedure is, if one's to encounter an undead or to lay them to rest, or if there's some kind of, something, to do, a cheat code to make him be just dead again, kind of thing. I don't think there's anything mechanically, but he is just going to roll to see if anything useful is conjured back after a day of reflecting on it, instead of just identifying the creature, trying to gain a clearer understanding,
Sure, go ahead and roll a knowledge religion.
And I would take 20 if I had a library, but we're in the forest, so can't do that.
There are many pre-books in the woods.
Okay, so first off, there's probably next to zero religious training or education for Pharasma in Nirmathas and
Gotcha.
Phaendar. Like probably none at all. They worship like Desna, Gozra, Erastil, and whatnot, but they probably have like Father Nolan was pretty much the only cleric in Phaendar, and he was a worshiper of Erastil.
Gotcha.
So there's probably nothing you'd know about that. You would know that in Nirmathas, or at least in Phaendar, like undead are rare, but if they were ever encountered, basically people either just run away or kill them. That's about as complicated as dealing with undead gets in Nirmathas.
Right. There's nothing else that goes on.
What's Torog's view on a Wight? How lawful good, and I don't know, what is a Wight? Are they evil?
Yeah, all undead are evil, so any good deity probably is not going to look fondly upon them.
Yeah.
But by the time that the others get to this, there's probably only like 30 seconds left on the spell.
Oh, really? It'd take them hours?
Because it's only 3 minutes, right?
3 minutes.
3 hours.
No,
So
3
that's-
minutes.
Speak with animals is only minutes per level, right?
Is that hours
Charmed
per level?
animal is hours per level.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, yep. I was remembering the charm animal. Yep. Okay.
So yeah, that spell is not gonna really last.
Okay.
Not long enough for us to talk or join in the scene, but enough for the tail end of it.
Probably, yeah. And what I will say, so basically, this animal doesn't have a lot of information. It can speak with you, but it has the intelligence of an animal. So it doesn't have, like educated responses to things. But if you're asking it questions about its master and whatnot, it would basically tell you that one day, so its master and it would often go out together hunting or whatever. One day the master went out for a bit on his own. Sometimes they would go separately, it's fine. One day he went out and then he didn't come back. And so the lynx searched for him for a while and never found him and returned to the cabin. And maybe 2 or so days passed. He never came back. But eventually he did. But when he came back, he was different. And slowly over time, it was just like the bond they had started to deteriorate. It started to corrupt in a sense. And you would be able to infer that this creature being somewhat bonded to an undead, the shift between what the creature knew before and knows now, and the fact that it is undead is just slowly drove the creature mad in a sense. And Theros, you have a bond with Volus. You get the sense it might have been a similar bond, and you're kind of imagining what Volus would end up as if you had that same kind of situation happen to you.
That's so sad.
That's heartbreaking. I guess the only way to free it then would be to kill the Wight, wouldn't it? I imagine that's probably the only thing that we could do to help it.
Potentially, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You would know that it's not like permanently bound to the Wight. It's just that it was spending all its time around the Wight trying to like interact with it, and just over time it kind of corrupted its mind.
Gotcha. Well, I kind of wanted to let it go and tell it to get out of here, but
You can also see if it wants to join us.
The charm animal thing is only going to last a few hours. I don't think it's going to be enough to turn its nature entirely.
You could have a wild empathy conversation with it, try to get something more permanent as far as its relation to you. It's just like a
Is that
person.
possible?
You can roll wild empathy to try to improve its attitude.
Yeah, of course. And you'll have a bonus now because it's currently friendly towards you.
What do I have to roll to 1d20? And
Yeah, wild empathy says 1d20 plus your level plus your charisma. I don't know.
If I get on the very tail end of this, can I aid?
Sure.
don't have
I don't know
any
if it would be
charisma
aid if you would
modifiers.
do it your own.
Yeah, that's true. Who knows?
So it'd be d20 plus 3.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is.
Because I don't have any charisma modifier.
Yes.
All right, so I guess I'll try to empathize with the creature and hopefully sway it enough so that it will leave the bonds of its former master.
So add 3 to this for mine. So I aid.
Add 3 or 2?
I think it's your level. Yep.
Oh, you weren't saying add 3 from the aid. You were saying add 3 to your roll.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it clearly aided. So that's
Okay.
22 to improve its attitude.
Yep, that's enough that you are able to improve its attitude a bit towards you, and you get the sense that now that it has kind of put some distance and it's kind of been temporarily broken out of its madness, that it's not like immediately going to go mad as soon as the spell ends. But you also get the sense that it probably is going to go back to its master if you let it go, and eventually it's probably just going to go mad again.
All right. Well, then I will communicate all that with the party, and this creature, if it returns to its master, will just return to the state that it was before we met it. Do you have any thoughts on what we should do? I would hate for it to reach that point again, but we can't really afford to take it with us. Nyari, I know you have a heart for animals. What are your thoughts here?
I do, but at this point we have done for it what we can. We have healed it back to consciousness. If the Wight were not involved, I would say it would be fine. Just let it go, but we cannot afford to go back and face that thing. You all were very lucky that all you escaped with was seemingly temporary damage. I don't want to face that thing again if we can help it.
I'm inclined to agree.
Niari, we agree. I saw him last night after you all had gone to bed again. I think it is best if we just leave him alone. And I'm sorry for what that does for the lynx. And he hushes his tone. But we've lost one already. Zeph. Zeph died. I can't take a chance. We move, and we should make haste. I will talk to Auburn quickly,
Yes, we will work on getting everyone together while you speak with Orbin.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna say something?
Well, I was just going to say that I've been looking over this message that we got from the Rangers readout, and it seems to be a mixture of there's some of my native tongue, Hallett, in there, and I was able to kind of decipher some of the words that came from it. I did recognize one of the words it mentioned, Fort Travale, and I'm wondering, we were looking, I know Auburn was looking for where the Chernasardo Rangers may have been within the Fangwood. It sounds like they're mobilizing to go to this Fort Travale, wherever that is.
Do I know of that or where it is?
No,
What's this down here?
not even gonna give you a roll on that.
I knew you weren't gonna.
This?
That is the Goblin tribe.
Oh,
Oh, well, don't want to go there.
Goblin tribe.
Or maybe we do. Let's go kill him.
So I don't know if we can take this information to Auburn, if she might know what Fort Travale is, but other than that, I have no idea.
I will ask her while I'm there.
Okay.
And he'll take
So-
the note.
Yep. We will skip over to you and Auburn then.
I'm assuming he's able to pull her aside again and get
Yep.
just the two of them alone.
Yep.
Auburn, I trust your judgment, but it has been a day now, and I wonder, people will notice Zeph. When should we tell them?
I will handle that. I will let them know. They will find out today. Perhaps later on. I'm not sure, but I'll let them know.
I don't know a lot of things, Auburn, but I am inclined to think it would be better if they heard it from us than if they found out on their own.
She kind of looks at you, and she's thinking, and you can tell that she's very conflicted about it. I didn't. If you want to tell them, I won't stop you, but they aren't going to react well.
I don't know who is best, but there is no use keeping it in the dark. These people, they can't defend themselves. I have come to learn that. Zeph died without even being able to put up a fight or say or do anything. And I'm beginning to realize that as great as the four of us are, and the other warriors in camp, we won't always be around, even if we are now. That has been on my mind.
I agree. It's not a lot of them are able to fight. They've not been trained. I'm starting to feel a little bit better myself, but yeah, I don't know how much I'll be able to do even more than what you've already been doing. It's definitely a difficult situation.
And he knows that he's reaching. Is there anyone who can train them? I mean, you taught me to use a bow and how to survive in the Fangwood. Maybe we teach them how to fight, so that we are not always running. But maybe in time, we all fight back.
I think that's a wonderful idea, Aiden, but again, we're in no position to do that. We have no place to train them. We're barely hanging on, getting supplies for ourselves at the moment. We've no time to do that. We need to find a place to set up a shelter. We need to find an area that we can hold our own, and then we can focus on getting supplies. And once we focused on having a steady stream of supplies, then we could probably begin to train them. But that's a few steps away still.
Then we have to get there as soon as possible.
What about the cabin? I know that you went there and you came back. I haven't heard what happened. I went to sleep, I think, before you returned. What about the cabin? We were talking that was a good idea. It's right nearby.
As she's talking, he's pulling out the letter from Niari. You mean the hunter's cabin that we haven't gone to yet?
No, that you guys were just at the hunter's cabin.
Oh, that's the one.
That's literally the hunter's cabin. You're right on top of the hunter's cabin that you guys were talking about for the longest time.
Gotcha.
That's why she's asking. She's like, we're right there. We were moving in that direction. We're here. Like, what did you guys find? Is it still there? Is it gonna work?
I do not know about that, Oberyn. We encountered a Wight there. And we were wondering... He's trying to figure out how to say it, because he disagrees with Niari. He thinks they should fight, but not everyone's on the same board, so... we decided, as a group, that it would be best to maybe press further into the Fangwood. They already got Gristle down, and we're worried that this is not far enough. Not to mention, the Wight is quite powerful, and they do not think that we can face him.
Well, if that is what you all decide, I won't argue with you. You four are the ones that are in the position to be making these decisions, but I don't know where else we'll go. Further into the forest is fine, but I don't know of any other place that we could go.
Well, maybe we will find one. This might be relevant too. Do you remember the cipher I had you look over earlier?
Yes, I remember.
Niari actually figured some of it out, and between all of us, I think we've pieced it together. And he hands her the ciphered note, now decrypted. Have you ever heard of that place? If that is the right name.
I've heard of it, yes, but I've never been there. I don't know where it is. I haven't a clue. I didn't spend my time training at that fort. I don't know where it is, but I've heard of it. I know it exists somewhere, but if it does exist, I can't imagine it's nearby. It's far into the Fangwood.
He's thinking. I know that we are looking for a place to set up camp. Gristledown was safe, at least in my mind. That is not too far from here. Far from Fangwood, or Phaendar. Is here? Is anywhere in the forest far enough? What do you think?
I think it's just a matter of time. I think no matter how far we go in, eventually they might find us again. Again, I don't know their plans. I don't know how far into the Fangwood they want to go. I don't know what their business is in the Fangwood. If all they're doing is looking for us, then maybe after a while they'll give up and go back.
We have learned of that too, retroactively. I'm not sure if you're aware or not. you might have this information already. If not, I'll tell you now.
Retroactively.
Oh yes, that's information. Yes,
it's the vital information about the children of Stone.
Yes, I do remember that information.
Yes. So
Sir
you
Wall filled her in on it.
Yeah. So you'd be aware of the fact that they are coming into the forest, and they've talked to the tribe there. They're mobilizing allies in the Fangwood.
Well, the Fangwood is large, And just because they have found a few trails doesn't mean they know everything in here. There's places, I'm sure you've been to a lot of places already, and you haven't run into them everywhere you go. Maybe they're staying to the outskirts there. Gristledown was right near the edge. I don't know that they'd find us right away, but I don't know again. And with Zeph, he died on watch, and we were at camp unprotected. I don't know, maybe if we had a place that was less exposed than just setting up random camps out here in the middle of nowhere, maybe we'd be safer. I don't know. But it certainly doesn't help that we're out here like this.
I will talk to the others, and we will find out what to do then. But I don't know, Aubryn. It feels like no matter what we do, we lose.
We haven't lost yet, Aiden. I know it feels like we're constantly losing, but we haven't quite lost yet.
I will bring us a victory. And he'll leave.
Okay. And while that was going on, Nyara, you were talking to Jet.
Mm-hmm. We don't have to role play it. She just basically wants to get an idea of where we stand with provisions, because Jet had made the comment the day before or 2 days ago that they were getting low on provisions. We brought some back, but there are a lot of people in the camp, and she's starting to get concerned about the food situation.
So Jet will basically make you aware that at the average rate that you have been going this past week, you'll make it, assuming things stay the same, you'll make it another 2 days before you completely run out. Because you have 11 and you're usually hovering around 5 to 7 losses per day. Sometimes you roll really well, sometimes you don't roll as well. So on average, about 2 days.
Unless
Probably.
more of us die.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could always eat the lynx. How many provision points is a lynx?
I'm
Kidding.
pretty sure Nairi's going to draw the
Kidding.
line there.
Oh, yeah. Did we just decide to let the lynx go?
It might be a mercy killing, though. It's just going to go crazy again.
Huh. Yeah, I think we did decide to let it go.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gone.
If it wasn't worth going back and trying to sever its ties with the Wight, so we,
Yeah,
did
just
what we
figured
could
we'd
for it, let
clarify
it
that
go.
now for Jason
I,
in case it wasn't already.
I definitely had the thought, though, that maybe we just kill the lynx. Send him to the next life.
Would this be our first PvP over the fate of the lynx?
Oh, I didn't do that. I just had the thought. Oh, well, I missed some talking.
Oh yeah, no, I said how many provision points is a lynx worth?
No, I meant the chat.
Oh, yeah.
So what are your guys' plans? You've talked a lot to different people. Like, what are your plans for
I know,
today?
pretty sure Oren wants to go up here, right?
I want to go to those caves.
Okay.
Here. So when we found that bill, was York, I mean, just to clarify, like, was York the emissary being discussed in the
I'm pretty sure
Seemingly.
note?
Oh, he was.
He
I thought
seemed
So we
Well, he
stopped
was-
the emissary
he
from
was- he-
getting
yeah.
to them first.
he was carrying a message addressed to them. It clearly had not been delivered.
Right.
He was right on the map. Oh, are you guys on this map?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
He
Here?
was right here, which
Yeah.
if you were to kind of draw a line somewhere from Phaendar to that location, he might have been heading his way there. So it's probably safe to assume that he might have been the guy carrying the message and never made it.
Interesting.
Josh, by the way, I like Aubryn, but I also am a little wondering because every time something bad happens, I was listening back and I've noticed she always is like, "Yeah, I was afraid that would be the case," kind of attitude. And I don't know. This just got me wondering.
Well, she's kind of stuck in a position of she has all day to think about what's going on, and she doesn't have much she can do
I was gonna
about
say,
it. So
you
it's
guys
like,
are gonna have me detecting alignment on everyone in the camp. Just line up, everybody come towards me. I'm gonna sense motive, and I'm gonna detect your alignment. Okay?
Well,
Nobody
I'm just
trusts.
thinking, like, and I understand the southern Fangwood is large, and we're only in a portion of it, like that. This map is like this map isn't the whole forest at all.
oh, this is a super like if you were to look at the bigger map, you guys comparatively, let's see if I can draw a box. You guys see basically like that much. I have a square on the big map. That's about how much you see. And
Yeah.
even the big map isn't showing the whole Fangwood.
Yeah.
So like you guys are like barely in there.
Right. So I have half a mind to think like, Auburn, we can't set up camp anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, they're maybe they won't move in, but they've never summoned a tower before. Who's to say that just because they've never gone into the forest before that they won't chase us to the ends of the earth? You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking we ought to keep everybody moving at least a bit more before they set up a little bit again,
Agreed.
and then we'd have to move again. Like,
But I
move.
see her point about
The problem
wanting.
is that what she's saying is that sure you can keep setting up camps, but you have nowhere to go.
Right.
Like where's the destination?
And that's the point. Maybe we just keep going in and in and in and in. But you can't go in forever because it's just so big.
The deeper you go, the more dangerous it's going to be.
Should we head towards Tamrin?
That's 120 plus miles away
Never mind.
over bandit haunted roads.
Sure, but you could traverse some of the Fangwood to there. Cut a line through.
Yeah, you as Aiden and Theros would know, the Fangwood is by no means, absolutely not even a little bit more safer than bandit haunted roads.
Yeah.
So I think that short term, we should try to get to those caves, because caves would be like a
better
like,
defense.
depending on if they have an exit and an entrance. Like you could, guard the one choke point.
But they're occupied.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
Well,
like
I
kill
killed the
trog-
troglodytes. That's my feeling.
That's a whole tribe
where
of
I'm
them?
at. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
There
Yeah.
could be thousands. No, there's not thousands.
I was gonna say they only see them like once in a generation. There can't be that
And-
many of them.
And maybe they're like, if the emissary hasn't gotten there, maybe they're
Maybe we
not.
can make an alliance.
Yeah.
Maybe we swing the diplomatic tides.
But the thing that I'm more concerned about now is less of shelter and more of food. Because if we keep just doing NPC actions and getting provision points that way, these people are going to starve in like a week. Like we have to actually go out, and I'm thinking like Kining found those berry bushes. Like we need to start actually trying to find food ourselves, because
Foraging.
they're not able to get provision points on their own.
I'm starting to think that the possibility of us doing one of two things that are really bad. One is splitting up. Can't do that realistically. The other one is we kill that Wight, man, and we take the cabin.
Yeah, but even still, Jason has mentioned before that the cabin isn't really meant to hold all of the people that we have.
Sure, but it's better than nothing, and we get the treasure that's there. Thereafter,
Nope. If you guys decide that you want to go back to that cabin, I will stand 100 feet away and shoot arrows. I'm not getting anywhere near a Wight, and that's
Like
like a player. Like I will not do that.
It's weird that like I'm more willing to take on a tribe of troglodytes than that Wight again.
Yeah.
Like 3 hits and we're dead.
Thing was
Yeah.
spooky.
No comeback.
Not even that. Like you guys, the casters, if you guys get hit once, and then that turns into a permanent negative level, like your spell casting is already, you can't cast your level spells. Like that's just, in my mind, that's not okay.
And
So, I mean, I'll stand there and shoot arrows, and I'll run around with my 40-foot movement. But you guys that are slower, I mean.
And I will remind you all, in case you have forgotten, that by the end of today, you have predicted that there will be a storm.
That's what I was going to bring up too.
well, and that was the last thing.
Can we make it to the caves in one day?
You could.
We could.
Right, the camp can't. Right.
No.
Maybe.
And you wouldn't have enough movement to make it all the way back in the same day, I don't think.
We stay with the camp today. we hunt, we gather food, we get everyone ready, and we just roll survival checks for the group. Spend a day or two here.
How much movement do we have in a day as a group?
16. It's
But
3
you
to
said it
travel
was
them. 3 to travel with them, 4 through uncharted territory. So we could go 3 hexes into the dark. Speaking of, do we have Kining scout out for us?
You did. We already revealed a couple.
Mhm.
There's like a hex down here. I think this hex right up here.
Yeah, we couldn't get many up here because we were moving as she was scouting, so it would have been too far.
I mean, we have more things close. We could also always check out that hermit.
Well, that's
She
what I
could
was
be-
thinking.
The hermit's
is
going closer to Gristledown again, though.
Yeah, the hermit's over here.
Yeah,
The
but
bushes that Kining found were down here.
But if there's a storm and if we could implore her for some sort of shelter, if she has like a little hut or something.
She has a terrible personality. She said those who want to survive will, or something like that, or have the
Will
means
do
to
so.
survive will do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's just what Dude Walt was saying. All right.
hey, don't you dare disrespect Dude Wall.
You doubt Sir
You would
Hoodwall?
know.
Adding in the couple of the storm, like tents are gonna. You can't stay in a tent during a storm. Not
And just so
really.
you know, these aren't legit tents. Like you get, these are makeshift. They might have been reinforced by some of the cloth and sewing and all that stuff that you brought about, but they're still like survival tents. They're not like nice, you know.
I'm telling you, if we don't find a wooden building or anything to put people into today, by tonight, I am almost certain that we will be facing the elements. And I don't think that that's a hit with our being so low on food that we can deal with reasonably.
Still pretty cold.
But I
out.
understand your fears.
Nope. I will go and I'll shoot at it, but I'm not
I'm
getting-
gonna
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
getting
look
melee.
for Dahood Wall.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask him the hermit. How big is where she lives? How many people can it house?
Okay. You walk up and he says, "Oh, hello. I'm Sir the Hoodwall."
Yes,
Um,
yes, it's good to see you again. Question for you.
Yes.
hermit. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's the hermit. You said. Yes. What about her?
How big of a place does she have?
Oh, it's not very big. If I had to put it in dimensions, just for ease of explanation, I'd probably do in 5-foot square increments.
Yeah, as is standard here in the mountains. Yes, you don't
I'd
need to
say
teach me the imperial system of measurement. All right.
Oh no, no. I mean, yeah, of course we all measure in 5-foot square.
We're not even in the cities. Tamron, there's no reason for you to have to explain this to me. I
Yes,
understand.
I apologize.
Oh, it's fine. I'm sorry. I'm on edge. I'm on edge.
Well, I would say that she has it built so that the roof kind of hangs over the edge of the actual building quite a bit. So it's maybe 10 by 15. It's just a small hut. The roof makes it look pretty big though. So you could like line up underneath the roof, but the building itself is pretty small. I mean, she lives there by herself by the looks of it.
Thank you. You've been great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll just be over here. And he kind of just turns around.
I think at the end, I didn't smile a little bit. Like he's getting really frustrated with everything. Like he's just feeling so powerless. He's just constantly being caught with like he doesn't want to run again. He wants to make a stand and fight back, but there's nowhere to do that. You know, and you can imagine how just infuriating that feeling must be. I don't know, guys. In game or in character, we're caught in a really bad situation. I do think it's on Aiden's mind, though, that we've got to start changing our thinking about just surviving. You know, it's not just Phaendar that we're fighting for.
I mean, I'm well prepared to fight an undead this time. You know, the cure light wounds is now a 2d6. I'd have all 3. I've got consecrate already prepared and ready to go.
The thing is, like, one
I know that's a hard hit, but I mean,
is a D level.
I know.
One hit is a D level that could stick with you
Permanently until you learn restoration.
It's
What are
not
we gonna do,
something.
though?
Is that cabin big enough for people to stay on?
I was gonna say, I think we're caught in this thing where all of there's no one in our group that has effectively taken charge, or like someone whose leadership has been like understood
Of course
or
not.
implied.
They're
you know?
mathing. They don't have
Right.
leaders.
Right. Whereas even within our group, though, I think Elwood took charge a little bit, but like there's not that for us. So DM, I kind of looking for a little bit of a bone here. Like, do any of our characters get like a strength of conviction of like, this is what we've got to do kind of idea?
Mostly what I would say is just kind of repeating the facts to you is that you know a storm's coming. You also know that this camp isn't getting anywhere before the storm hits, other than the middle of the forest or the cabin. You know that you could make it to the caves today, but you probably wouldn't have enough movement to make it all the way back to camp. You could talk to the hermit, but her hut is too small. You could go foraging for general supplies. That doesn't address the storm issue.
And we
It's
don't
up
know
to
of
you guys
anything.
how you deal with that problem, but these are the problems that you've been faced with.
And there's nothing. We don't know of any other permanent structures that exist in any capacity.
You are not aware of any other than the shack, the hunter's cabin. And again, the hunter's cabin, you've seen it. It would be a tight fit for the people that you have, but out of game knowledge, the hut itself has 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 square feet. And then there's another 4 squares of the other cabin there. So the hut is big enough to house most of the people. They wouldn't be comfortable. It'd be very crowded, but it would be technically safer because you'd have walls around you.
What about the readout?
The readout was, I believe, like 6 squares.
Can you put us back on that map?
I would love to. but I can't. Because I don't
really?
have it anymore.
Wait, really?
No,
I
no, I'm
deleted
sorry.
it.
I mean, can you put us back on the hex map?
Oh, the hex map. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the ranger map, and I got rid of that one.
No.
The
hex
readout
map.
was down here, right?
Yeah. It was way down in that smaller place.
That's too close. There's literally plains there that they can walk through.
And the readout was 3x4.
3x4 is actually huge, though.
Okay, so
We are stuck
I'll
between a
say
rock
that-
and a white place.
if we go fight the Wight, I can take a negative level and more than likely be fine. But only one.
All right. So, first of all, Josh, I love you all. But then Aiden will also say in characters, I am not about to do anything unless we are all on the same page about what we aim to accomplish and what we aim to do. If we can act as one, then I will move. We will move. But we have to be prepared. I don't want to face that Wight. Honestly, I am scared. But I told Theros the other day, and I've told you all, I'm tired of running. But moreover, I can't abandon people again. And so I don't know what is best. I am not smart. I am not particularly wise. And I'm young. And for a moment, we have to act together. And Theros, you know, a storm is coming. In every sense of it. And we're not prepared to weather that. Not any of us. And so we have to make ourselves ready. That's all I have to say on this. I leave the decision in your hands. And what I have said in the past is always true. I will follow you. May the gods be with us. If they care.
Storm. I'm sorry, I just saw Jason's message.
And that's it. That's all I, Josh, or Aiden will say. Whatever y'all decide, he will do.
You just gotta make a decision. There's
Yeah.
a lot of options. None of them are great.
No, literally all of them are awful. Do you realize that, Jace? Like, they're all
no.
bad.
It's just one of the things. You've got to pick one.
You want to just take it to a vote? Out of character vote?
Sure.
Justin.
That's the democratic way.
Yeah, Justin, what is your advocacy for what we should do?
Okay, so this is all out of character, what I'm thinking. The hut's not big enough, and who even knows if she would help us. So we get all the way over there, and she refuses to help us.
That's worthless. Yeah, I agree.
That's worthless. Can't.
Then we
Can't.
kill her.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
right,
kidding.
right. So I mean, that's the
my.
problem. We can't go to the Rangers Redoubt because A, I don't think we can make it, and B, even if we did make it, it's in the plains, it's open, we're backtracking, we're really putting the camp at risk getting to it. So basically that leaves us with essentially nothing. We try and either weather the storm where we're at, or we try and take the hunter's cabin from the Wight. Upshot, the hunter's cabin is big enough to house all of us. There is, I mean, theoretically pretty close. Like Josh said, not that this is really important, but there's the loot that is available there. We don't know what else we would find as far as animals. We are doing a good thing for the lynx at that point too. And the only real risk is to us. That doesn't really put much risk on the camp, other than if we fail.
What are heroes? You know?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I kind of agree. Like, I don't want to fight it, but at this point, I don't see. There's really only two options ahead of us. Do we stay and try and weather the storm where we're at, or do we go and face the Wight? And I think that the thing to do would be to face the Wight.
Yeah.
And even Orin, I think, would feel that way.
Outside
And hopefully you prep backups.
Outside of the Wight itself, it seems like the only realistic thing we could do for the group to weather the storm.
Right.
Like, if it wasn't for the Wight, it would be like a no-brainer. The Wight is literally the only thing that makes it.
Mm-hmm. It's true. We could also just brace the storm, pick up the shambles, and move on and just say, well, that's what we have to do. But I just don't think that that's the best option. The other thing, too, is there's a shot in the dark that we find something 3 hexes away from where we are. I just don't think that's realistic.
I think that's just as big a gamble as going against the Wight, probably.
I agree.
Because if we lose everything, it's still a gamble as to what are we going to find the next day. And we're just going to have the same question the next day. Who's to say how long the storm's going to last, too?
And I'm emotionally comfortable with a second PC death, although I would really rather not.
Yeah.
And I do think that I think that we all have to go into this though realizing that like that's definitely what you're risking, or at the very least an arguably worse scenario, you take negative levels and don't die and are just now at a permanent detriment for God knows how long.
Permanently nerfed.
Right, which is going to make the future a lot harder, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, but that's what we got to do.
I
You know,
can
that's how
risk
I
it for
feel.
the
As a
biscuit a
group,
little bit because I
if
have
we-
1 hero point left still.
If we play it smart, let's have a plan when we go in. So if
Stealth
we go
bits.
in,
Get a surprise round if we can.
get a surprise
Wish I-
round if we can.
wish
So
I
try
could've
for a stealth round.
Prepared more
you know,
spells.
Milk
different
every
spells.
advantage.
Have
Yeah.
a contingency that, you know, seriously, if Nyari is very much against it, then it sounds like, you know, if she sees the tide turning, it's okay to run away. Like it's
Right.
all right. Like if you see like me and Aiden go down, it's okay for you guys to be like, oh, the group's still gonna need somebody, and leave, like that it was a mistake.
Yeah, in character. I agree with that, and I respect your opinion. I just think it's something I have to do, and I just don't have the strength to do it alone. So I know I'm selfish now, but that is how I feel.
I'm with you,
And
Arjun.
Sarah, you've also been quiet. Like, what's going through your head?
Really, the only thing that we can do is fight the Wight. And honestly, like I said, I am probably the best out of all of us to handle a negative level. So I can go in, I can get 1 hit, and then I can back off and just shoot it. So
If we wait this out, can we attack them without our temporary level bothering us if we strike late at night?
You can wait. You don't know if it will be gone by the time the storm comes or not, but you can try to wait and see.
I think what Josh is asking is if we take that negative level, does it immediately affect our character, or is it?
If you
'Cause
go
we-
to fight it now, you will still technically have the penalties. Yes.
We can't face it like that. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
oh, that didn't go away when you saved?
no, it
Technically, you don't get the save until 24 hours. But what I was saying is that I didn't want to
I
roll it early and then find out that you had it permanent, but then I realized it didn't really matter. So you guys technically still have the penalty for today because it goes. Those saves would happen at the end of today because that's when you guys took them yesterday.
right. But we could technically fight after that, and we
yeah,
could
it's
watch.
just the storm would happen.
The storm would happen at that point.
You guys have predicted that the storm will happen in the late afternoon to evening of today.
Oh gosh.
So while we're fighting,
Oh,
the storm will come.
Gosh, excuse me one moment. Let me make sure I'm on mute.
Expletives.
Well,
This is just a awful situation. Awful.
Okay, so
then it's definitely not worth fighting the Wight. We're fighting at a huge disadvantage. Already at a huge disadvantage, and then oh, no.
Everything would be fine if you had just killed it the first time.
I
Oh,
agree with that. Sure, yeah, of course it'd be fine now. Oh my gosh, I am so livid. Ah, man.
so we go in, we kill it really quick, and then we get the camp to come up like as soon as we get done killing it. I mean, they can run in a mile in like, you know, whatever, like
So
10 minutes.
as it stands, then Jason, the fortitude save it doesn't apply until late afternoon. So if we got hit now, it would effectively be a 1-hit kill for me, Aiden, and Oren, right? Because we're technically level 1.
No, you
No.
are level 3. It's just you technically still have 1 temporary level until the end of today. So if you got hit again, as long as it wasn't a crit, you'd be fine.
But if we got hit
Ish.
2 times, then we'd be done.
Here, maybe I can't. Maybe I'm really efficient. Would I at all know how durable whites are? Like their total HP.
Roll a knowledge religion. I don't know if you ever rolled a knowledge religion before or
I was
not.
gonna say, do you mind if I hop in on that as well?
Sure, you
I
guys can take the time and really think about like focus on what you know.
I did in the moment. If I remember, I had gotten a 22, and we learned about the ability drain, the undead traits, and what it was. That was my pieces of information. And I don't know if you can, by the rules, retry, but I do think that having a bit more information could help us make a decision here.
Well, Justin's not going to be helping you, and that didn't help.
You don't gain any more information than you had before. However, having fought it, unfortunately, you don't know anything about its AC, hit points, any of that stuff, because you never actually hit it, as far as I'm aware. You do kind of have a sense of its ability to damage, though. You know that it's only 1 level per hit. You know that it only has 1 attack.
And then it also didn't do a lot of damage each time it hit.
Did not do a significant amount of damage, no.
It's just the tacking of the negative levels that matter.
Yes.
The problem is getting stuck with them sucks so bad.
So here's the thing. Just spitballing this. We have a scroll of plant growth. If there was a way that we could aggro him and then have Theros cast this, if I'm reading this spell correctly, it basically causes an area where he basically can't move more than 5 feet.
Then we just barrage him with arrows.
And I have 21 charges of magic missile. I just spam magic missile over and over and over.
Just melt him through the force damage.
But that's just me, and that's just my turn.
How do we lure him? Do we just go running in saying, Dormammu, I've come to bargain?
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I can... Oh, gosh. We have a potion of invisibility. So somebody could take a potion of... I can take a potion of invisibility. I can go in. I can get 1 hit.
Or what if we pin him?
I mean, he can still touch us.
It's not a... Was it a touch attack that did the ability drain or the level drain?
It was a slam attack.
It was a natural attack.
So if you pin him, he can't...
Yeah, but you first got to get through a grapple.
Yeah.
You got to maintain a grapple. He can still attack through a grapple. I don't...
Sure he can.
So
I have an idea. Yeah. I have an idea. I have something. We've got to trap him so he can't move, and then you just hit him with force damage. That's how we're gonna do this. So I have been saving this combo, and because I wanted to pull it out in a fight and be really cool, but I'll go ahead and let y'all know. So I'm not sure if this is actually mechanically going to be good or bad, because I've never done it before, but I do have this thing called a barbed arrow, which when tied to a rope, which I have, will invoke the grappled condition on a successful hit. But I won't have the grappled condition. So maybe we hit him. Is it? Oh yeah, you're fine. So if we are thinking that we hit him with the AOE, we blast him with that. We just slow him as much as we can. We get him immobile, and then just barrage on him round after round with arrows and force damage,
channel energy, and
everything.
Cure moderate light wounds, 2d8 plus 3.
That's how we play this. We use up our consumables and stuff.
Just burn him down.
We can't afford to be conservative about those items. So let's look through that inventory sheet real quick about just blowing through some stuff. We got the Tanglefoot bag that we just got from Jin. What's your dad's name?
Yeah, Jin. Jin Varric.
Jin, yeah. So we got that. So
he was not crafting a Tanglefoot bag.
No, you're right.
We have
you guys
one.
used a
Theros
Tanglefoot bag.
Theros has one as well. We
do have one though. We have one. I'm seeing it here. Let's see here. We got Thunderstone, which if Jason will allow it, we can throw, and that will make his initiative roll lower.
Does that require a fortitude save?
Yeah, assuming he doesn't. Oh, you're right.
Yep.
Undead. He might be immune to that. But needless to say, we got stuff to use, so let's start thinking about it in that capacity.
Is this night gonna end with another undead boss fight?
Probably.
It might. You guys are taking a long time to make a decision.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I mean,
counting down on
the
hexes.
decision is we're gonna fight the Wight.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the decision.
we're gonna fight the Wight. It's just a matter of how are we going to do it.
Right.
Like I said, I
Yep.
mean, Nayari can take a potion of invisibility, go in, get a surprise round, and then try to get one big hit on him, and then completely back off.
We only have
full
one
withdraw.
potion of invisibility.
Yes.
Okay.
And I still have a hero point, and then I also have another trick up my sleeve as far as rolling to get rid of the negative level. So, I mean, if anyone has to get hit in melee, it's probably me. So I can try to get in there, aggro him, maybe get one big hit on him, and then full withdraw out of there. I have the most movement to get furthest away, and then depending on initiative, we do have the plant growth, which would make an area full of basically entangled.
What happened to the lynx?
If you guys let it go, then it left in the direction of the cabin.
Okay, we did let it go though.
Oh boy.
You
So
guys
I
said
might
you
have
did.
to fight it back.
Yep.
Fight it again.
That's my thought.
Well, we did empathize with it a little bit, so it may not attack us outright unless we start, murdering its owner.
Well,
Will caltrops do anything? I'm literally just looking up every single.
Josh is over here like, we've got some spoons. If we throw spoons at it, what does that do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Yep, I mean, we just got to pull the trigger at some point. We can
gotta
him
pull
and
the
haw
trigger.
all night long. We just got to pull the
Nayari?
trigger.
Do your thing.
We could potentially
Yeah.
throw a vial of oil wherever we trap him to and light it on fire.
We have alchemist fire.
Yeah, I have one.
I think you have two. You took two of them,
I took two.
and then Theros has one.
Oh, that's in this thing.
Okay. All right. Oh dear. All right.
I'm not
Oh
confident.
So-
man, I'm so nervous, man.
So basically, we're gonna come up on this cabin.
I want to watch it for a little while, so I don't know how much time you're gonna have ruled pass as we were making a decision, but I kind of want to see it from a distance. If the Wight goes in and out at different points.
Okay, so I'll say that all of the role playing discussion and everything that's gone on so far, 2 hours have passed.
That's fair.
So you guys return to the cabin at, we'll say 10 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing this with the reduced level. Cool.
We have to. The storm's coming in the afternoon, and we
Better be a
fought him
big
in.
storm. Better be like a hurricane.
It, bet-
Category 3.
it better blow the tents away.
Just a
Yeah.
slight breeze.
Yeah, right. Like
All the animals
rains
are
for 10
seeking
minutes.
shelter. Like, what is wrong with these animals? They're pansies.
This better not be rain. You know what? The storm better be so bad that it actually blows up this cabin that we're in, and just like a tree comes hurling by and rips it apart.
I mean, all the animals are reacting to it pretty heavily. I don't think that's nothing.
I agree with that.
So how long do you want to watch the cabin? It's 10 o'clock now. How long do you want to watch it?
What do you guys think?
Maybe half hour.
Okay.
We don't want to
Half
pass
hour
too
goes
much
by.
time.
No change. The door is closed. You do not see the Wight anywhere. You do not see. Actually, you might see the lynx.
Oh,
Sure.
no.
Let me get that out here.
Do you have another calm animal, Andrew?
We have another scroll of charm animal.
Is that on the right layer? It should be on the right layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over there. You can see that it's just laying down. It's just kind of napping.
Okay. I will.
10:30.
I'm going to drink a potion of Pass without a trace.
Okay.
Not that it's really going to make a difference, but it will last an hour.
Okay.
This is such a stupid idea. I will get close enough because this invisibility is not going to last very long.
Yeah, I would say before you get going and before you drink the invisibility, Aiden will kind of get your attention and maybe grab your hand before you go to drink or something, and look you right in the eye. It is okay to run if it gets too much. And he'll look to his companions. We know what we've gotten ourselves into. You have Ilika and Theros. You have your father. I have Opryn, but she'll be fine. And Orin, I don't mean to speak on your behalf, but I doubt you have anyone here. To be honest, I'm thankful you're here now. Be safe, Niari.
Okay, so you took a potion of pass without a trace.
Yep.
Now what?
I'm going to. I have to be careful because the potion of invisibility, I don't know. It's a 2nd level spell, so that means it's 3 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
So, quick question. I have Sanctuary prepared. It's a round thing, so can it only be used once combat's initiated, or could I put Sanctuary on her now?
You can do it now, but
it won't do anything though because as soon as I attack, it dispels.
Yeah.
So it's if I can get a surprise round, it's probably not gonna.
Before
help.
any of them move to Theros would ask, should I attempt to calm the lynx again? I don't want to get into another fight with it.
Maybe it wouldn't hurt.
Does Niari have the whistle or anything?
Mm-mm.
I'd really rather fight him out in the open and not in there.
Same.
Well, I'm gonna just hit him once and then run out.
And hope that he comes. So yeah.
All right. So basically, I'm gonna we're gonna just stop playing here. I'm going to take a potion of invisibility, and I'm gonna apply an oil of magic weapon to my weapon, which I think that still stacks with masterwork.
It doesn't stack to attack.
What was that, Jason?
It would not stack to your attack, but it would
but the
give
damage.
you one to hit. Yeah.
Okay.
The damage. Yeah.
And do remember about the booby traps and the bear thing.
The door was booby trapped.
And
right.
there's bear traps all around it.
Yep.
So how are you gonna get in there without setting off the trap?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
You want to take 20 after you took that invisibility buff?
No, I do not.
You want to spend some time to take 20?
You're evil, Jason.
That's
You're
so
absolutely
mean.
evil.
Oh, hopefully it doesn't take 3 minutes to take 20 across that distance.
Unless we all want to get up to the door first.
Well, I think what Josh was saying is if you took the invisibility potion and then we lured it out here, then you'd still be able to do the attack without it seeing. You'd still get the surprise round because it doesn't see you.
Did we charm the lynx?
No, not yet. I was waiting to know how I should do that mechanically.
All right, here, let's figure this out. I would like to be here or here when the Wight comes out so I can hit him with a ready to action. So everyone else should consider your position and what you want to be doing so that we can do it. And then we'll...
I should probably charm the lynx right away. That charm should last a couple hours, right? Yeah.
It'll last an hour, yeah.
An hour, okay. That would give us plenty of time to not have it bother us.
All right, so we'll wait on that until we're ready to go, because if that charm fails, then we got to fight him and the situation changes. So we'll wait for your initiative on that. Niari will get ready to go. I'll get set up for a potential charge. Actually, then if Niari, you don't mind switching spots with me, that way, I can kind of quickly move here and maybe line up a charge if it goes south. Else, I'm gonna go ahead and book it. Well, not book it, but stealth over after some time has passed to here. But I'm gonna wait for Niari. And Oren, what are you doing then?
I'm gonna wait right here, and then once we engage, I mean, first thing I'm gonna do is consecrate wherever he's at, and we're gonna have to try and keep him within that 20-foot radius.
Could we try luring him out by just yelling to him? Like after Nyari's in position, potentially just yelling, Wight, we've come back, or something like that.
Certainly can try.
He might double down and not come out.
I mean, last time we were in here, and he didn't even really do anything.
I was gonna say last time, yeah, he just stood there and we fought the lynx out here.
Like the door trap went off, and he was just standing over here facing the wall. So I don't know if he's gonna aggro it.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true. All right,
I think that's true. Yeah. So yeah. Oh my gosh, I literally am sick to my stomach right now. This is so risky. This is so bad.
So jank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Somebody make
This is bad. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
So I need to roll or I guess you would have to roll the save on this lynx, Jason.
Already did.
Would we know if he's charmed?
If we're going round by round, you would not yet know.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just kind of napping over there, so it's not made any different movement.
Is there
Nyari-
any way to get through, since I know this door is trapped, to get it to set off without hitting me, or is it just I have to roll perception and hope that I...
First off, rolling just to get to there.
Because of bear traps.
Yeah. You have to get a perception and notice the bear traps.
Yep.
And this is where the plan's just gonna fail.
Well, you might have advantage.
I don't have good perception, so I'm gonna get stuck in a bear trap, and then
I was just
not
say,
gonna be able to do it.
You know that they're to look for them is all I meant. So you might have like a circumstance, but with a 7, that's still pretty scary.
I was gonna give you a +5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head.
The DC isn't super high, but with that roll, a +5 only makes it a 12, which is not enough. So as you're crossing this, you are actually being careful not to cross in the same position that Aiden did before, but it seems that whatever trap Aiden sprung has been reset and moved. And so as you're walking across, again, this knee-high grass makes it very difficult to see the ground. And as you're walking across, you do step into a bear trap.
How does the lynx react if I take a 5-foot step and take a look at it?
Well, first this goes off, so it makes an attack roll against you. That is a 22 to hit, so the trap does hit you. You take...
Hey, it's better that 22 was on the trap than from the white.
You take 11 points of damage.
Statistically, I know that means nothing, but,
And you are trapped by this bear trap. The lynx doesn't seem to, the lynx doesn't seem to move. It's still napping.
Good kitty.
All right. And we all noticed that she sprung the trap.
Oh yeah, you all hear it.
All right. I'm just gonna start slowly moving over, and just gonna try to pry her loose. He'll need everyone's help though.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. All of you can take 20 to aid and take 20 to undo this. So you can either try to roll for it or take 20. What do you want to do?
We got to roll for it.
You
You
remember
take 20. Her
the DC
potion's
was pretty
gonna-
high before.
You already drank the potion, right?
I wasn't gonna drink the invisibility one until I
okay.
got to the door,
Yeah,
but I
she did.
said that I did the other ones, which will just wear off.
Right.
We'll
So
take you 2 minutes to take 20.
Yeah. She's not invisible yet, so
Take our time. You had pass without a trace is what you had used?
Well, and I had done the magic weapon. That's the one that would wear off.
Oh, magic weapon's a big boon. How long does it last?
Minutes per level.
And it's not your spell, so it'd be 1 minute.
Yep.
So we
you
can
could try
do,
rolling for it.
Yeah,
or you
let's
could
say-
take 20.
well, we can do mechanically what happens when you take 20. Is you just keep rolling, So we can hope for a nat 20, and then it'll be done, assuming that they can aid.
I mean, at this point, it's not worth the magic weapon because, like, I probably should have waited until I got to the door to do that one too. But it's fine. It's only a +1 to damage, so I would say let's just take 20 so that we're not slogging down with rolls and stuff. We'll just take 20 to get out of the bear trap, and then I'll probably just get stuck in another one up here. But it is what it is. So
I can. We got the computer. I can just roll 10d20, and if any of them are a natural 20 along the way, it can be earlier. Else we can assume we took 20, Jace.
Well, if you're the one making the main check, yes.
Yeah, because I'll
Just
need
so
a
you
nat-
know, so you've been in this trap before. I'll let you know it is DC 26 strength check.
Right. So I need their aid. Can we assume that we get their aid each roll, or no?
No,
no,
Yeah,
you have
because
to roll out.
you and I are the only ones with strength, so I'm not going to assume that they can aid you every time.
Right. So
That's
it's gonna
why we're just gonna take 20 so I can get out of it.
Yeah, it's gonna take way
Okay.
too long to roll
Yep.
it
Take
all
20.
out.
2 minutes go by. You get
Okay.
you get out of the trap.
Okay. So then I'll keep moving. You just tell me where are traps where I have to perceive. I roll another perception or just carry that one over.
I'm just going to carry that one over, and you can make it to the door now.
I
Okay.
also, being careful of my steps, am gonna follow slowly from behind.
Okay.
Once she gets to maybe about halfway through or whatever, I'll start making my way there. I'll roll you 2 stealth checks. Question mark?
Your stealth checks?
Yeah, 3 maybe. I can't remember. It was 60 feet.
At
So
what,
3.
at what point are you veering off? Because I was going to say, if you're following her footsteps, then you don't have to roll anything against any traps that might be hidden in the grass. But if you're veering off and going a different direction, I'm going to have you
No, I'll
make a
be
perception check.
stepping behind her till about where Orin is standing, and then I'm gonna go that way.
Okay,
Or-
that's going to need a perception check.
That's fine. That's rough. Okay. Oh yeah, he's.
I'm saying you can take 20 to find these traps.
That's
You
true.
might be able to do it with a take 10 if you want to risk that. It's just that the traps are hidden in the grass. You have to look for
I have
them.
a perception
well,
of 10.
I'm
Do
assuming
you
that
want
he
me to
is, like-
search for them?
Well, I mean, he knows they're there, and he knows to look for them. Maybe Theros and him, he suggests walking together and watching our steps as we go.
Okay. You can both roll a perception check to see if you notice them.
Mm.
Okay. So, Aiden, you are about to step literally in one as soon as you go over here. Like, literally the moment you veer away from her path, you're about to step in one. And Theros sees it from behind you and points it out just in time for you to
Ooh,
not fall prey
jeez.
to it. Like, I'm talking literally the square after you stopped following her trail, you would have fallen into one.
Okay.
But you're fine. You're able to get over to where you're going. Theros is able, with that roll, to point out
One
these traps.
step at a time. Let me just measure the distance real quick, make sure I'm where I want to be. I actually want to be 5 feet further.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Nyari is up to the door. Aiden's over there. Theros and Orin, are you guys where you want to be?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe something
Is
like
Volus where you want him to be? Yeah, okay.
maybe Volus be right there.
Okay. And Nyari, what are you doing?
Well, I guess it depends. Do I still roll perception on the door knowing that it's probably trapped, or do I just have to hope for the best?
I will say, given the nature of this trap, since you know it is attached to the door, this is one that you'd be able to avoid just by nature of knowing that it is there. It's not like it moved to a different door or something.
Okay.
So you can open the door and kind of step to the side. The arrow flies straight out, hits Aiden,
I was gonna say,
because Aiden is right in way of the door.
yeah,
No.
you're cute.
No. Yeah, you're able to. I'll let you just avoid that trap.
Mhm.
Okay. Then I will drink the potion of invisibility and I'm gonna walk inside the house.
Okay.
He knows about it too, so he'll respectively be able to move out of the way.
If
Show
this
me where
guy
you're walking.
isn't, if this guy's not in here, then we just
He walks up
basically
behind us like, what are you guys
Yeah.
doing?
If he's not in here,
Concentrate!
I'll have said this. If he's not in here, we get everyone. We hold it down. We defend this as if siege. Okay, well it doesn't matter.
Well, he's there.
Roll me a
so-
stealth check.
A spell check?
Stealth check.
A stealth check.
I was like, a spellcraft? Is that an illusion? Like, don't forget the bonuses for invisibility and whatever else you have going for you. Which I think is a plus 10?
And his back's turned.
If you're moving, invisibility gives you a plus 20.
Okay.
So that gives you a 34.
34.
Yes.
Okay.
Plus, you said you cast silence or no?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so a 34 will narrowly beat his 29.
This is terrible.
Then
But I will say, as you're walking in, you see that he is facing directly towards you because he heard again the bow go off. This time, he's more. This just happened yesterday, so he is
Maybe
facing
back
directly
yourself.
towards you as he walks in. It doesn't look like he knows you're there necessarily, but he's facing the doorway this time.
Wait, why did you move me back?
I was just because
The wind.
yeah, the situation changed. I wasn't sure if he would still move since you knew he was
No,
looking that way.
she can choose to still move. I'm just letting you know that he's facing that way. He knows something is there at the doorway. He just didn't see you come in.
I like the little
Yep,
ninja icon.
and I will.
We're really high in your initiative, I hope.
Get my.
Heightened awareness would be nice.
Well, if he didn't perceive me, then I don't think he gets to act in a surprise round. I'm basically gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna hit him.
Okay, everybody roll initiative and we'll have a surprise round.
Yeah, fantastic.
Nyari, nice!
Oh, hey! This is the first time I get favored terrain bonus. Yay!
Typical initiative.
There we are.
That
That's
actually
reflect-
makes sense too, to some degree, and not necessarily Orin, but like Nyari and Aiden being ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Orange over here
gunning.
like, where did I put that holy water? I don't know, did I leave it back at camp or?
I'm gunning for
Where's
blood.
that?
Okay, so in the surprise round, Nyari, you are able to act. You have a standard or a move action that you can take during a surprise round.
Okay, I will attack him.
Okay.
And
roll to hit.
after I roll this, don't say anything.
Oh,
Just,
Okay.
it does. I do get a +2, so it'll be a +2 on this roll.
And do you have power attack or anything?
No,
Why do you get a +2?
because I'm invisible.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, because he's caught unaware. It's his
I'm
flat-footed AC.
Going to use a destined strike on it.
So it gets a +1.
Yeah.
This should hit for all intents and purposes. Like it's pretty much got to be a nat 1. Oh, it could be lower.
Well,
I
I'm
don't know.
gonna add the +2 in, so it'll just be this roll.
Wow.
Just so you know, fun fact, whites do not have blind sight or blind sense, so that's good. Okay, so this is a 14, and all the modifiers have been added or have not yet been added?
All have been added.
She rolled
and
a 4.
It is against flat-footed.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, and he's denied his Dex AC for what it's worth if he doesn't have uncanny dodge.
Correct.
Okay, so is that with you said with the invisible?
Yeah.
Okay, that will narrowly miss.
Yeah, that's
One thing you notice that is different. Last time you came, it seemed like he hadn't been ready. This time, because you have already disturbed his peace, you see he's wearing light leather armor. So his AC is slightly higher than before. A 14 will miss.
Okay,
Wow.
I'm visible now. So regular initiative.
So coming out of invisibility is only a +2 to your hit.
Yeah, you get a +2 against the creatures that don't know you're there. Okay.
So that was taking away his dex to AC as well.
Oh yeah, flat-footed. He only has a +1 to his dex.
Okay.
He's not a terribly dexterous creature.
So he's
Oh my goodness,
probably
his stats in general kind of suck.
It's probably AC 15 then.
Okay. Round 1, it is Aiden, but I am assuming that you're not doing anything until Nayari comes out.
Correct.
Yeah, I think you're readying an action, you said. So Nayari, it is the first round of combat. You missed this creature. You've become visible. He immediately sees you. And you heard him say, he says, "Why can't you just leave me be?" But he has not yet attacked you because...
Initiative.
But it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. You rolled a 22 initiative, which is higher than him.
I kind of feel bad.
Yeah, he's evil.
He is undead. You don't really have to feel bad.
Yeah.
He just wants to be left alone.
Like, lost souls and all that is kind of sad, but they are still evil.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they are.
It's a
in
mercy
fact,
to destroy him.
It is. In the world of Galarian, although people disagree, it is inherently evil to continue life as an undead.
Trying to decide, should I? Because if I hit him and then try to move, I will provoke.
Nope.
Well, I mean, I guess if he's flat-footed, but I wasn't sure if he had.
He won't get an attack of opportunity until his turn comes around.
Yeah, because you're denied that, so you could take another hit and then take a complement of your movement to get out.
Okay, I will try to hit him again and use my second Destined Strike.
Okay, roll another attack.
And it's still against his flat-footed because even though he's aware, he is not acted.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Okay.
It's just no longer the invisible bonus. That will hit for 11 damage.
Nice hit.
And then...
Okay.
She has a movement still.
Yep, you still have your move action.
We can do this.
Perfect. Oh, it's so good.
Except I forgot where you said the trap was. Was it in that square?
That's right.
At this point, I'm assuming that Theros has made them aware.
Yeah.
So it would be Theros' turn. Are you holding until other things happen, or did you have something you want to do right now?
1 second. How do you measure distances? I'm trying to get an estimate on how far he could run. Probably as close to Nayari's distance, but not further. I might want to try to heal Nayari a bit before he runs out here.
You can. There's a tool on the sidebar that lets
he
you
might be able to get me,
snap
actually.
distances like this.
Oops. I snapped to center.
Thanks.
So you don't know what his movement is. It would take him 35 feet of movement to get to her.
I don't imagine he's faster than her, probably. I don't know. I guess there's no way to assume that.
Unless he double moves is the only thing. But then he can't hit.
I'll probably have Theros come here then and heal her, or at least attempt to heal with the Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. One of your spells or from the wand?
From the wand.
Okay.
So we're going to take off one of those charges. And rolling a 1d8 plus 1. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Okay.
And Volus will I guess go here and well, not full defense. I'll command Volus to defend Nyari.
Okay.
As his trick or command or what have you.
Now it is its turn. He moves up to the door. Aiden, you see him at the doorway. Is your ready to action to shoot him when he comes into sight or when he leaves the doorway?
You're muted.
You might be
Can't
muted
hear you,
there.
Josh.
Say that again.
Is your ready to action to shoot him as soon as he becomes visible or until he leaves the door, leaves the building?
I wanted him to be outside the building when I catch him.
So in that case, your ready to action does not trigger. As he goes up to the door, he yells out, "Get out!" and then he closes the door.
Oh, I can't shoot now.
Nope. Your ready to action was for when he left, and he never left.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
That was his turn. It is now Oren's turn.
Channel energy, does that go
You have to have line of
through
sight.
wall?
Channel energy does not go through walls.
That was a
We
very
have
big-
found this out from another campaign.
Yeah.
Does it go through doorways?
No. You could go up to the door and then open the
Oh.
door. Okay.
Oh, he closed the door?
Yeah, he closed the door. He yelled at you all and then he slammed the door shut.
I'm so frustrated.
We can all hide in the shed.
We'll just all fit in the shed.
Yeah.
He's not very protective of the shed.
The whole camp in the shed.
Would opening the door be my standard action?
Yep.
It is a move action
Move
to open the door.
action.
So you'd have to move up to the door and then move action, open the door. Which does provoke, but I don't know if it provokes if you're on the other side of the door from the creature.
I don't.
I think normally it's like if you're standing next to the creature and you open the door and you're both on the same side, it provokes,
Yeah.
but I don't think it does if you're on opposite sides. of the door.
Peekaboo! You're short enough. If you open the door, Aiden could just shoot over you.
Right.
Kidding. I know that doesn't work. Man.
You could move Wight around, then open it, and I can ready a shot if he's still standing there. But he'll
Do what?
probably move back.
What do you? I didn't hear your first part. Move up,
Oh,
open
is
the
that-
door, and then what?
No, you could move Wight to open the door for a round, so you could take a 5-foot step to get out of the way, and then I could ready to shoot. But he'll probably move by then.
Yeah, I'll move up there and then wait.
Okay.
See what happens.
It is Aiden's turn. Do you want to move, or are you still readying or holding your turn? Or
Yeah, we'll start moving forward. Ready to shoot as soon as Oren opens the door and then backs out of the way. Or 5-foot steps in theory.
okay. Nyara, you're up.
I will drink a potion of guidance.
Okay. Theros and Volus, anything you guys want to do?
Theros is going to come up here and cast guidance on Aiden.
I also learned that this probably isn't going to work because it's on a. Oop, we saw that. It's on a what's it called? A critical against a grapple special weapon quality. So on a critical hit, it grapples. It doesn't otherwise. But oh well.
So yeah, I moved here and I casted guidance on.
We're still saying that,
Aiden.
Jason. You gotta hide it from others.
I know I did that on purpose.
Oh.
He's like, no, he's still by the door. I promise.
We saw it through here.
Oh, it
You
moves it in a straight line?
Yeah, you can't
I
hide
thought-
it from.
okay.
Well, we saw like the bottom of the. Oh my gosh.
You know what? I'm okay with it. Bring it back. He's flanked. He's next to
Yeah.
us.
He's
Bring it back.
they're shifting, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. So Volus, Theros and Volus, you moved up there, and
Volus is still defending Nyari. Theros casted guidance on Aiden, and then 5-foot stepped here.
Orin, it's your turn.
I'll open the door.
You should just destroy it so he can't keep closing it.
I actually thought about that.
Stop! No! Stop opening the door!
Okay, you open the door, and he's not there. It'd be hilarious if he reset the arrow trap in that short
Yeah.
time.
Right.
I don't think he had enough time to do that, but
Yeah,
I
I
would
don't-
laugh so hard.
Okay.
And I'll come in. Well, he's not gonna come out. What are we gonna do?
Okay,
Yeah, we've lost surprise. We gotta get him.
that is your turn. Top of the round, it's Aiden. You see Orin walk into the building.
Yeah. And then I do have line of sight.
Yep, you're good.
And I moved to get here, so I'm not going to do rapid shot or anything crazy.
Yep.
And I'm going to hit him with the barbed arrow and pray for a natural 20.
Okay.
Otherwise, it just does normal damage.
Okay.
Okay.
A 20 to hit will hit.
Okay. Then 12 piercing damage, and you see a silk rope fly through the air. But as soon as it finds purchase in him, it breaks instead of getting stuck in, or maybe he's able to quickly rip it out or something. But he's not grappled.
Okay. Nyari, it's your turn.
Okay.
And he'll shout out, like, we have to strike! It's too late! Blah,
Oops.
blah, blah.
I messed up the movement, but I can get there.
Okay. That will trigger his readied action
Okay.
to make one attack at you.
Okay.
Natural 1, so that misses. He goes
I
to
got
swing
excited
at
for a
you.
moment about crit cards and then remembered wrong campaign.
I dodged it.
He
Huge
goes
bullet.
he goes to swing at you, but you're too fast and he misses as you get right up to him.
Okay. I want you to. Well, I'm going to. Oh gosh. So I'm going to use my last Destined Strike on this.
Okay.
I'm going to Rage
Oh,
as
okay.
a free action.
Hope this hits.
Very smart
then-
to rage after.
Jason, I want you to add 8 to this roll.
Okay.
Very cool.
Oh, that's a good
No.
thing you had to add an 8
That's very good.
because that would have missed otherwise.
Yeah.
If you just add 8 to that, it does become 20, which will hit,
So
dealing
8
8 points of damage.
points of damage.
All right.
I want to throw up.
You guys are awesome!
Woo!
How do you want to finish him off, Nyari?
So it's as she's running in and turns the corner, she makes eye contact with the red eyes, and in that moment, instead of feeling fear, she feels the rage just bubble up, and she sees, it's almost as if time stops, and she sees the faces of the people back in camp, and she thinks, if ever is a time to kill this thing, it has to be now. And she'll just bring down the force of her battle axe through its skull with all of her strength, just splitting it in two.
Okay. You land the hit, and it just crumbles to the ground. Now nothing more than a pile of bones. And you are left in the cabin. The threat's vanquished. I just realized I probably could have enforced like low dim light in this building because there are windows, but
Oh.
it's otherwise. But that's fine. I didn't
Don't make
decide
me
to do
roll
that.
concealment, please,
that is
because
how
I would miss.
Build tension though.
But yeah, it probably could have been dim light because there's like a window. There's like 2 windows in this building, which isn't a whole lot of light. But I'm not gonna have anybody roll because I wasn't doing it before.
No, we could have also, if you wanted to, say like we knew that it was dark last time we were here, which I don't remember if you had it for that fight or not. But then we could crack a sun rod at the start of the fight or something. If you want me to
Yeah.
expend one real quick.
If you want to, that would definitely
Make
allay
it.
any concealment issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
So we'll just say that like we remember last time there was concealment, so this time I had a sun rod ready to be cracked and threw it in at some point. Obviously, I don't know how the mechanics would work out for that, but we can just say I had it on me.
Are we still in combat?
Listen, all I'm saying is Nyari MVP this fight. Like,
Yeah.
Lord,
Whew.
It's
girl
funny
wrecked
too
it,
because
wrecked it this time.
Sarah did
Well-
not want to mess
Right?
with it.
She's like, fine, you want to kill the white? You want to kill it? I'll kill the thing.
Yeah, in case you probably, it was probably pretty evident, but I was a little frustrated as a person earlier on.
Oh yeah, no.
So that's about how it gets when I get really angry and I'm gaming. I get real quiet and
Well,
then
no.
kind of like snotty.
No, it was a huge,
Well,
it was a huge risk on our
No,
part.
I
It
could
really
could
was.
tell you were frustrated too, but I also was just like, I don't know though. Like there's nothing else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
We had
why.
nothing. We had nothing else
Yeah.
to
Well,
go on.
Yeah, Jason knows me well enough. When I got stuck in that bear trap, it's kind of like, you know what? Whatever. You know what? Just
Yeah,
you do it. Just roll the damage. Whatever. I don't care. It's fine.
I could tell
That's
you're
exactly
getting.
what happens when I get mad and I'm gaming.
I could tell you were getting a little flippant and frustrated, and I was
Yeah.
like, I was trying to be like, I'm sorry, but I still think we have to push our luck here. You know, like I thought we should
That's-
have last time too.
That's why I was poking at the take 20 rules there. That's why I did that.
Oh yeah,
I was just making a point.
I concur, Jace. They're there for a reason.
But yeah, so you guys defeat the whites and you're in this building. So the inside of this sturdy wooden cabin.
Well, that boot had
Ooh.
best be in here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So over here, like the ceiling is partially collapsed.
There's
But
just through the.
Otherwise, this is a pretty sturdy cabin. All of the furniture has been overturned, except for a small stool in the corner. If you guys just like take time to look around, you're able to find a number of things. So you do find a single boot lying on the floor,
Yes.
which does come up as magical, and it does match the other boot, which you already identified. So you now have a full pair of boots of striding and springing. Mounted over the fireplace is a longbow that seems to be emanating some magical aura, and you also find a hidden compartment under the floorboards, and the compartment is locked.
I looked up the boost of striding. I hope you don't mind. Oh, whoa.
So there's nothing like if we. I know. Take 20 on this cabin.
I was
There's
assuming
no-
you took 20. I told you everything there.
Okay.
Yep.
There's no
The
keys
boot,
or anything
the
to the.
longbow.
There's nothing on his corpse
Maybe in the
or his
shed.
ashes or his dust or whatever.
It does not say anything about there being a key.
All right, because I don't think that any of us can disable device.
Break
I'm
it.
looking. I don't see any mention of a key.
Well, how would he get access to it?
You don't know.
He
Maybe he
probably
had a key and lost it when he
didn't care.
turned.
Maybe I start looking that way too at some point. So what is it that we found? Maybe we should. Well, we can divvy up loot later.
You found the boot, you found a longbow that is magical, and you found a hidden locked compartment in the floorboards.
Okay, we'll deal with the longbow and the boots later because we'll have the group with us and we can auto succeed.
Oh,
that.
that's true. Yeah. You're
Oh,
right.
yeah, because I wasn't gonna help aid anyway. Oh, there I said.
Okay.
You identify the longbow as a +1 longbow.
That might be good for Niari, right? You use longbows or do you use a composite?
I have a composite, but
The
also
longbow
have a
with the bracers.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I'm curious about that. Were you just letting Sarah build an archer now? Like, what was that about? That's interesting.
Nope.
I have no
That
idea.
was specifically because of some actions that she took.
Oh, really? Like,
Yep.
Written out. Can I? Well, don't tell me that.
Like,
It is in the book that if PCs do a certain thing, then the owl shows up with that specific item.
Oh, I wonder what she did. We'll have to figure that out. Or not.
I mean, I can tell you
Is it a cannon fodder kind of thing that we'd learn and never would learn in game?
you probably wouldn't learn it elsewhere now.
Yeah. What's up?
So the book says, I'm just skimming over here to gristle down. So it says, if the PCs either perform basic religious rituals over the mass grave or reinter the bodies in proper graves, blah, 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 the owl appears on a branch. I didn't say a branch, but long enough to drop off a canvas-wrapped pair of lesser bracers of archery. So Nyari did her full funeral rites of the Kelid, like the whole prayer and everything. So the owl went to her and gave her the bracers of archery.
That's funny because we literally all did that. Like, that was Aiden's thought. That was Nyari's thought. Like, we were all on.
She was the only one who actually did a religious thing per se, though. Your character said, may still bless you, but we didn't like bury them or anything. We just kind of gave them a Viking funeral.
Yeah, that's what my decision was. Is that Aiden had said that he threw them all in the grave or like tossed them in the grave or whatever, but Nyari was the one who did a full proper thing.
No, it wasn't questioning that Nyari should be on it. That was definitely the right call. No, not at all. I was just saying it was interesting because I think all four of us were on the same page of like, we're gonna bury these, but you could very easily see a party that would choose not to. So it's funny that the book thought to reward that kind of behavior. That was just what I was observing.
That is cool.
It's kind of interesting because there were religious undertones to what she did, what I did. Even Orn and Theros had parts to say. It was kind of cool. It was actually the first funeral too. Like having a small dedication to Elwood was also a very interesting part. Yeah. Great.
So as you guys are here, one of you had mentioned going out to this other cabin up to the north. So this simple wood and mud smokehouse looks like it was once used probably to preserve food and for lean winter months and such. And looking inside, it looks like it has stood unused since this creature became undead. But you do find inside some heavily smoked and salted meat and fish hanging that looks to remain edible. And you find a total of 15 provision points worth of protein.
Oh, man.
What a clutch decision to come here.
Oh man,
also,
are you still mad at me, Sarah?
Up there, Warren goes, and to avoid any filth fever nonsense, purify food and drink in case there's any diseases on this food.
Jen might honestly cry. Like, I could see her just being so overwhelmed when.
Also, where's that big deer? That deer anywhere around here?
Yeah.
It's only been like 8 hours since we saw him carry
that
a
deer is
Uh-oh.
totally okay.
Yeah, the deer would be hanging from one of these racks outside.
Oh, great.
The lynx.
Turns out the lynx ate it all.
So we also have a whole deer. Does that provide provision points?
It would provide 2.
Oh, is the lynx with us now? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Charles.
You're very generous, Jason.
As you guys are taking time and doing all this, the lynx wakes up and slowly starts moving into the cabin. And you see that the lynx makes it to the body of its former, or what used to be its master, and kind of nudges this guy a little bit. And it doesn't make any response. And you hear the lynx there make kind of like a purring noise, kind of like you would get the sense, Theros, especially being how attuned to animals you are, it's not purring out of like comfort or anything. It's just one of those things that when cats get really worried, sometimes they just do it as like not necessarily a defensive maneuver, but to like calm themselves down. It looks like that's what it's doing here, and it just kind of lays down and curls up next to the body.
Oh.
And then we just like sweep the dust out of the cabin so that it doesn't scare the people when they show up. Like
I
nothing
was
to
gonna
see
say,
here.
What was the story again? Remind me about this hunter. How did he turn to a white?
We don't
Yeah,
know.
so you guys wouldn't know about this, but it's fine to say. So this guy was a half elf. He led a really miserable life, so he moved into the Fangwood to get away from people. But the isolation he found made him more bitter than before. One day when he was out hunting, he fell into a ravine, broke his arm, several ribs, and his leg got stuck in a crevice. And he wasn't strong enough to pull himself free. So he was stuck in that crevice for several days until exposure and hunger slowly killed him. And the bitterness of his life kind of coalesced, and he rose as a wight. And with his newfound strength, he was able to free himself, and he returned to the cabin. And the connection that he had with this animal companion over time, the undeath, the difference in behavior drove the animal a little bit mad. And that's the story of Kelloch and Pyla.
Old habits die hard too. He just continued living as a hunter,
Pretty much.
but a shell of what he once was.
Nyari, here's
I
your
don't think we would
cat.
know all of that, but I do think Aiden might be sensitive to that to some degree. Like after his grandfather's passed, he has like this really weird relationship with the gods and religion, but he's torn in both ways. Like he no longer really respects them so much because they don't seem to help ever, but he also kind of like that's his only connection to his grandfather, so he wants to do the religious right thing. He wants to walk the walk, even if conviction's not there. So in some respects, he'll do whatever he thinks is best to try to give the white some eternal rest and let its soul finally go to the afterlife.
He's like, is there a second set of bracers of archery if you do a funeral for this guy?
The owl just keeps delivering bracers of
It's the lynx brings it later. The lynx comes out with bracers
Oh,
of
poor
archery.
kitty.
I'm not even. I'm joking.
I'm just messing with you, Josh.
I'm not lying, but I didn't even think of that. That's so funny.
So you guys have taken the cabin. You've found all the stuff in here. What is the plan moving forward?
We brave the storm here. We tell the people to come back and huddle up. We let Jet know about the provisions. I think we do all of that.
Okay. So it's about noon at this point. So are you wanting to send everybody out to do a normal day's worth of scavenging and such, or what's the plan?
I would say like have people go out and try to get food and stuff because we don't know how long the storm will last. So we probably need to kind of store up as
Prep
much.
a little bit.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
supplies.
I assume in the morning would have told them to the same, and then maybe we'll tell them to like come back by a certain time, sort of thing. Go ahead, Sarah.
I was just gonna say, how many squares did we end up with then? Only like 10?
14.
Given how much time has
Well,
passed,
yeah, now.
I would say you have I'll say 8 squares of movement left, half of what you would normally have.
Okay, that's good. I have a thing. We can make it to the berry bush and back.
I was
That's what
thinking the same thing.
I was thinking that.
like,
I was
we can probably
counting.
make it to the berry bush
Yeah.
and back.
Except we do have to be prepared for a fight there because the bushes were moving or like
Yes.
something was strange about them.
Probably get caught in the storm if we headed down there.
Well, that was the question. If we take the complement of our movement, we suspect we'll be in the storm.
You would be on your way back.
Right.
You'd probably get there in time, but as you're coming back, you would probably be in the storm. But that would just be the 4 of you.
I was just gonna say though, like, then maybe we come back and we huddle back up, and we'll have a nice campfire to sit around and some warm insular shelter instead of the wilderness.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
So your plan is to spend the rest of the day here then?
No.
Oh, no,
No.
no, no. The camp's gonna move in here, and
Uh-huh.
they're gonna be gathering food in the area while they can. They're gonna stay in the general
Uh-huh.
area. We are going to face the elements. We'll go to the berry bush and then come back.
Oh, because I thought you had said spend the night inside. Okay.
No, we'll come back to that spot. So after being in the rain, we'll have somewhere warm to be, but we're gonna face the rain.
Okay.
Is that okay with everybody else?
That works for me.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
So your plan is to move through the storm on your way back then?
Yeah.
You're not taking like a specific shelter from the storm. You're going to be moving through it.
Not unless we find one.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Well, and
party,
that's the other thing
yes.
is, I just thought if we get stuck in the storm, it's gonna probably decrease our movement, so we may not even be able to get back to camp.
Would that be the case from what we can infer?
I'm looking up that particular one here.
That particular storm. There are many storms that we could face.
The hurricane that's going to be coming through.
The
There
bee
are
storm.
environmental rules.
The hornet storm.
It's a swarm. It's actually just a giant swarm.
Oh,
Locusts.
goodness.
Shelter means nothing. We're
Don't
already
worry.
dead.
I have one charge of burning hands left.
Right.
We'll be fine.
I got fire belly. Let's do this.
What is everybody's strength modifiers?
17.
1.
Modifier, not numbers.
2.
Okay.
17 is
4.
my modifier. 3.
Okay.
Sorry, 3. I had fatigue
Okay.
down. Minus 3.
Yeah, you would totally have reduced movement.
Even with my endurance feat?
Oh my goodness, would you still have reduced movement?
I want
What are
those
you-
berry bushes, Jason.
I'm over here
I'm
like,
not-
Josh, are
I'm
you
not
gonna like
saying
run
you
back
can't
without us?
go.
We can go. It's getting back. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you'll just have to find a place on the way to take shelter, most likely.
There's nowhere to take shelter.
Well, if there's only 4 of you, you could go into some random. Like you wouldn't. You're not looking for a space for 20-some people. You just have to find like a den or like a tree root, something. I don't know.
Really big tree.
We'll
Alright.
have Volus dig a hole.
Yeah.
With our survival skill, would we be able to find something like that on the way back?
Absolutely, yeah. That's part of the thing. Is it's a survival skill. Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's do that on the way
Yeah.
there. We'll look for a place, and on the way back, we'll continue looking for a place, kind of thing. Because we're gonna double back the same way. I assume if we don't find one, we'll chance it the other way, kind of idea.
We're going to get back, and those kids will have killed everybody in the camp.
Justin, so exasperated.
Yeah. So we
When
go.
I'm right, just wait.
We lay the game plan to the de facto leaders of the group, Aubryn and Jin and the other like more important NPCs. We let them know that we're gonna go and come back. Hopefully, we'll probably have to wait out the storm. We secured the cabin. We'll let Jet know that there's food and potentially a way to continue to store meats for a longer time. So maybe different game can last several days as opposed to just a day. So like, hey, we got something setting up for you guys. Like we're doing our best, and we're gonna keep doing our best. And we're moving down to get some fruit. Kining talked about, and we leave the group in their hands, and we'll see them in the day.
Okay.
I mean, it's the first time they've had a roof since Phaendar, so I gotta imagine they're pretty happy.
You're welcome.
You're
I could
welcome.
role play all that out, but I think that's a decent summary of the kinds of interactions that we have. Like I said, the de facto pseudo other important people that exist in the camp and have kind of assumed different task and leadership roles.
Yeah.
So we're moving to the berry bushes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we will begin next session with me describing that.
I thought so.
Mm.
It's a good place. I know it feels like we didn't do a whole lot this one, but we made some pretty big steps. I mean, seriously, we have a structure. It's not anything amazing, but it's a structure nonetheless.
Well, it was a role play heavy session, which I tend to prefer, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. No, we didn't do a whole lot of combat, but there
Right.
was a ton of character development that actually took place. At least for Iden, if I don't know what you guys felt as far as your character's growth, but there was
Pharaoh spoke to a cat, so
Yeah, I got to
Character
watch
development.
Theros, like talk to a cat for like 3 minutes.
Theros
which
and
was weird.
Orin had a few moments finally.
I went
I'm-
on. And for the first time, though, I think that like I finally felt the frustration of the situation that the PCs are in. You know, it's easy to disconnect from the game a little bit, but like once it starts affecting you as a player ability to do things and your characters in the world, it's no doubt that tensions would be high and people would be frustrated and angry and bitter and upset. And I enjoy exploring those emotions just as I much enjoy exploring anger or sorrow or happiness, you know.